hit the subscribe, man. We've tons of great trades there. You know, green across the board here. We're going to go over to our two favorite traders. It's Joe and Sharif. It's the midday. Adara on the desk as well with news throughout the rest of the day. So it's going to be a good one. Fed still talking. Obi, great job. I'll check you back at 2 p.m. We're going to have, hopefully that glazed chicken is pretty nice today. We'll have to enjoy some of that. I'm going to go for a quick little swim, and I'll see you guys back on the desk shortly. Ciao for now, midday.
Hey, guys.
Back, because...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Boom! Greetings and salutations,
I'm tapped in. I'm locked in over here, man.
Welcome to the midday show. That right there is your boy Joey Degen. I mean, Joey Options. No, I'm playing. Come on, you know I love you, bro. I love that guy, bro.
Oh no!
I'm playing. All right, guys. Let's see who's in the house. Shout out to the OG Darwin, One Micro Trader, and Dude V. We got Civ C, Ross About. Get it, Ross. The OG Buffin All-Star. We got Swirling Brain and Hangry Wife. Yes, my man. Hey, shout out to, well, yeah, you know, obviously not a man. But yeah, shout out to Hangry Wife RB. We got Cost, Showtime VB, and Brown Lightning. Super Lucky Luke. Native New York. Oh, you guys are going to get smoked today, brother. Oh, you poor souls.
Don't do it, man. Don't jinx
you.
it, man. Don't
Shout out
jinx
to
it.
Gorev, the OG Gorev in the house, man. We got Ryan O'Day. Shout out to Danielle Dallas. Hey, I like that one. Richard Evans joining us as well. Dexter Smith and me. We got Whip Wap Girl. Ahmed Habibi. Come to Egypt. We got Big O in Bristol, TD Baker, John Zuver, and let's do one more here, Joey Options. Right. Mike P. D. Ryder.
It's not Mike P in the chat. Is it Mike P in the chat?
I thought I saw him. He is in there. Mike P. D. Ryder. Yeah, he's laughing already, bro.
I know. I'm just
all right, Joey, just before you start, I just want to let everybody know I'm long over here. It's not showing up on the position board quite yet. TMC, we're long. Into the first pullback, into the 10 EMA after the break of, yes, that 8 3/4 area. So here's the deal. It's coming back now. We have the high of the day. I do have that 908 print. Correction, the high of the day is 909. I have a 908 print. It is coming back into the 10 EMA. I likely will be a buyer at that 10 EMA. The 10 EMA currently on my chart is around 883, 8 low 80s, okay? Put it that way, 8 to low mid 80s. If it drops into that level, I'm picking it up. The ticker is TMC. But I have to bring to your attention, but just before we go to Adara, we're halted to the upside over here on BQ. It's a bit more expensive, $36 the high. I think it's halted at 35, 46, something like that. It's up 121%. It's a multiple halter, but this is the runner of the day. We'll have more to say about this when we get back from Adara.
Kind of eye-popping news here from Oracle. ORCL dropping sharply after the information reports that Oracle lost nearly $100 million from rentals of Blackwell chips in the most recent quarter. Now, it's unclear if that's the current quarter or the quarter that just passed, but if I get more details, I'll let you know. Either way, apparently this is internal Oracle data that the information cited showing that Oracle is struggling here with renting out these Nvidia chips and they're losing money. Back to you.
Here's the deal, Joey Options. Don't show my screen, Assassino, because, you know, it's kind of gray market stuff. But yes, Adara, thank you for bringing us that headline. I will have more to say on that. I'm trying to get the article right now from the information. We'll cover that more for you. Big move down, as Adara mentioned, for Oracle, 2% midday, dropping into that 284 area. Joey, any comment on Oracle?
On Oracle,
anything you want to talk about, brother?
Yeah, Oracle, we can take a look at that, man. I mean, we had a lot going on this morning. Oh my day!
Oh, your day!
Yeah. That thing's gone, man. See you later, AC Slater. Exactly on Oracle, man. And that's the thing; it just never recovered. I'm gonna write those. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna write those calls. ChatGPT, thank you, $2 super chat. I'm right now. I'm at the point where I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it's not the time to long anything at this given moment right now. I was talking with our good buddy Nimrod of the show. He's like, man, what are we thinking about cash? Market frothy. Don't feel that FOMO. Get in a little bit of cash. I'm thinking here. Sharif, you seen what I was up yesterday. I'm down equally as much today.
Lying.
Yeah, I'm not lying. I swear to God. I'm down equally as much. full disclosure, I mean, $1,000 yesterday, down $1,000 today. That's just the nature of the beast. The market is selling aggressively. Ethereum and Bitcoin are really starting to come back in. But enough of that. Let's get into this, excuse me, some of the trades that I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm holding on to these contracts. It's October, and I'm going to continuously hold on to them. Otherwise, 1 second, Adara, let me get through something here. AMD continuously selling off here. We attempted the long. That's why I was like to Obi, nice work. You held through that. I made a big-time error right here. So I got out accidentally, and then I was looking to get back in. I go short by accident, and then I'm like, you know what? Let me just get out of this right away just in case. And sure enough, I was lucky. Boom, because it popped in and hit my target specifically and what I was looking for. Bam, there, AMD, we take the short and now it's continuously bleeding. IBIT chopped me up. AMD and IBIT chopped me up to the fullest here. I'm glad that I got all of this IBIT. We take a nice little pop right there. So that's what we have going on there. I am, full disclosure, I am red. Tesla was my best trade in the morning. We enter, we add, we take some off, stop out, break even, enter again, and then we get stopped out, break even. So yeah, it's been an absolute bloodbath all across the board for your boy, and the market's continuously selling there. Adara, what do you got for us?
Yeah, what I have here is at 11 a.m. these consumer inflation expectations from the New York Fed. 3.4% here is their one-year inflation for September. That was stronger than the previous 3.2% and the forecast 3.1%. So again, consumer inflation expectations, one-year inflation expectation coming in higher than expected. Nasdaq continuing to drop. I don't have any other news for this market, but again, the Oracle news, in case anybody missed it, information reporting that they lost nearly $100 million in the recent quarter from their Nvidia Blackwell chip rentals. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Okay, we got a whole bunch of super chats, so let's get right to them. First and foremost, well, you know, where the hell is it? Show yourself. There we go. Papacito. He's dropping 690. I don't know what that is there. That looks like it could be rupees. I don't know, Joe. We're going to have to do that. My curiosity gets the best of me over here.
Yeah,
it's a shekel.
All right. Shekels. Yeah.
All right. It is a shekel, Joey. BNAI, Buru, GPUS, Ultra Bid, Small Cap Cappers. Let's have a look at all of them. Where is the side chart over here? We're going to do it live with this in the background. Let's flip to the 5-minute on the trusty side chart, and we're going to look at BNAI. So we're nice. Okay, sub $1 name. Yeah, that's what you meant by small, really cap gappers. Look, I don't like the lower high. It's going to have to hold above 77.5, that volume weighted average price. I do like the higher lows. So from over here, 67, then 72, then 75. Higher lows, but lower highs. Compression pattern could be a bull pennant. Good call. Not my favorite, of course, because it's south of $1. Let's look at BURU. Remember, we were talking about this burro. Remember, we were figuring out that that meant donkey in Spanish. Yeah, another small cap gapper south of $1. Losing VWAP, 32.5 pennies is VWAP, but this one doesn't look like it's respecting VWAP, so this might be the buy. What do I mean that? Look at that red line. That red line is support every single time. That red line is the 50 exponential, of course, on the 5, off which we're charting. And it's holding up yet again. So that 50 EMA, an interesting area. Whether or not we make higher highs above that 35.5 penny level, your guess is as good as mine. Shout out the donkeyed one over here. Buru, B-U-R-U, is the name of this ticker. I like all these so far, except, of course, they were south of $1. So I have to caveat that. Last but not least, GPUS, my least favorite of these, Mr. Papacito, because this one is a downward channel, most notably. And it's also below VWAP, which is strike number 1 on my list. And it's also below the pre-market high, that 805 high. That's strike number 2. This one is out, just like the Yankees lineup is going to be tonight.
Wow.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Y'all facing elimination. What are you going to do? Oh, no.
That's crazy.
No, Joey, we're going to get smoked tonight. Yeah. I don't mind getting smoked because I'm going to take Neil's tickets for Game 5.
Oh,
don't tell Katina Man that. He's not going to want to hear that.
Don't tell Katina Man.
All right, so those are the 3. Shout out to Papacito. Let's go on ChatGPT. What do you think of LA calls from here? Joey Options, yeah. He's got your name
I talked to him. He mentioned this, that I'm against all calls right now.
Okay.
It's that simple. Unless you're writing them, I'm against all calls. I'm any form of a pop today in IBIT, I'm thinking about about getting out of everything. I know, is that panic mode? Maybe slightly. I'm definitely going to sell my Ethereum garbage because I was up nice yesterday on it. Now it's just right back to flat. So we'll get out of that one. It didn't break through that high. We tap into 126 on Bitcoin. Sells off aggressively. I was looking for a specific range to hold, maybe 70 on IBIT. We got none of it. So, I mean, again, we're positive on it. We're going to give a lot back here. We're going to be patient and wait for that bounce. It may take a couple of days. I did like our chances in October, but the reaction that we're seeing displayed today, I'm not in love with it. Look at the volume here stepping in on IBIT, really starting to increase. That's huge, big time huge. Let's see if we got anything on the 1 minute for a potential bounce signal. Nada. Zero zilch on that one there. So be patient. Any pop back into this range, I might just decide to sell a couple of the contracts, lock in the cash, and there's always going to be an opportunity to grab some more. So Joey Panic, you can call me whatever you would like. Joey Panic, I'm curious to how your account's looking there, my guy. So hold on to things, buy things, whatever you may be. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to be patient. And yeah, so Ethereum, again, tanking slightly weaker. It was strong in the pre-market. I'm like, hey, I like this. Exactly, Alan. Hey, you got it. I like exactly what you're thinking there. That's exactly what we're going to do. Much appreciated, brother. So yeah, that's all I got going on right now.
I just want to cover one more super
go ahead.
Yeah.
I got nothing right now. I'm going to be in sniper mode and locked in. I'm slightly red on the day, and I'm going to be grinding to get back to the green.
Grinding. All right. Last but not least, sorry, Corey. Corey Ewing, $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Corey. Sharif, my guy. Can you keep an eye on DVLT? You say it, you instruct it, I do it. Look, no, seriously though, this one was running yesterday afternoon. We know that, 115, the breakout. It continues to run a little bit in the aftermarket where there are no halt parameters, but it does make the day high. I don't want to say the official high, but the day high in the aftermarket. Today, look, it's holding the levels. It's not like it's given up the levels, so you're up 24.5%. But as I look at the intraday chart on the 5, we're losing VWAP here. So there is a support level at 250. We saw that in the implied balance open at 9:30 and 9:35. We also saw it at around 8 a.m. The opening of that candle was around 2.5. But that's not my methodology. That's not my system. They got to be above the volume weighted average price. I like DVLT and a multi-day runner, but intraday, for me anyway, not the move right now. We're going to pause for a second. We got to go back to Adara.
Yeah, I have a lot more context here in the Oracle report. So apparently Oracle's gross profit margin from their rentals of these NVIDIA-powered these servers powered by NVIDIA chips, their gross profit margin from these rentals averaged roughly 16% in the past year. So they're struggling to make money here on these rentals. Also, apparently, in some cases, they're losing considerable sums on rentals of small quantities of newer and older versions of NVIDIA chips. So again, this cloud business is growing really quickly, but these profit margins are, to quote the article, razor thin. So more context here. Here is one infographic that I've made of several you can find on X at TTV Research in the past on Oracle's cloud infrastructure revenue Q1 2023 to Q1 2026. There's also another one showing their incredibly lofty projections, and I will rant about this later, but back to you.
Dara, keep giving us the goods as long as you get more information on that. Obviously, the circular. I saw a hilarious post yesterday. Like, I don't really want to pump up this other company, The Morning Brew. They're funny, all right? They got a couple of, comedians turned financial people. Yeah. Anyway, they did a little, it was a hilarious video. It's like 4 people sitting around a table. Each one is like designated a company. You're Oracle, I'm AMD, OB's Nvidia, and you're just taking like a stack of cash in the video, and you're just passing in between. Everyone gets to hold the stack of cash for a little bit.
Touch the cash, baby.
It's so funny. Oh my goodness. No, we exaggerate for effect, of course.
Want me to go over some of these things here? Let's see what we got, Sharif. Okay, there you go, Gaurav. Nice long on Tesla. I'm going to wait for things to curl over and look for the continuation to the south side. We're not getting the bounce in the crypto space than what we were looking for either, so potentially more downward trajectory right there. Now, let's see what we got for a super chat. Number LAR finding support at $5, up 50% in 5 days. 6 million volume from Derek Celestine. Shout out to Derek Celestine. Let's take a look at, my friend, LAR. We're going to take a look at it right now. With what you're telling me, I would personally look to lock in a little bit of profit. Holding $5, a nice hammer candle right there. We like that one a bunch. Bang, there it is, pop up. Watch out for this selling pressure just in case this closes as an inverted. Then you're most definitely going to want to take some profits. I have to lead to this, obviously, because that's just where my mentality goes. I didn't think that this pullback was going to be this deep. So I was thinking maybe we hold this candle or something around the 122s. But at this point, it looks like we're going to probably put in an additional top here. And this is a really strong engulfing print. So be cautious on that one. And there goes heading towards to put a new low of the day in. Now let's go over the other super chat. Whoa, they're just flowing in today. All right, Venue, Gunda, Adera. Oracle will come back at earnings and say they have $500 billion backlog, but will always miss on the number. It's insane how they get away. I lost a lot, though. Yeah, I mean, Adara's been talking about that for some time. She was really mad about the guide. Well, not mad. She just didn't like the guide.
Well, I did the research on this, and again, I'll talk about this more when we get to like the news segment of things, but the way they've done this is very, very insidious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there you go. Hey, just like that. There you go.
Just like that.
So, yeah, I mean, I was saying, hey, do you take the Benioff route and kind of guide lighter? But no, they're like, hey, we're just going to go full on and just guide an insane amount of number, even though they did miss on a couple of the numbers. But, I mean, by all means, CapEx is there. The hyperscalers are spending, and they have the backlog. So not too bad of a look there for Oracle. Maybe you get a bounce, but we're not even coming anywhere close to that gap up. And that's the thing. I think that AMD would be significantly stronger if we were in the earlier innings of this run. Considering we're continuously trading, everybody's saying the market's slightly frothy. I think that the fact that, okay, yeah, they're making this deal, it would have continued day after day if we weren't already as extended as we currently are there, Shree. Oh, you can't even trade it.
No, we can't even load it. Let's just not say it. All right, Bovin, good call on that PRHI, but I'm going to focus. Okay, so I have to comment about it because it's just because I can't trade it doesn't mean you guys need to be punished for that. Look, PRHI, this is what we call on the midday show above and special, right? I mean, you hear the Katina man talking about the lunch special, right? Joey gets excited, especially if there's no tilapia. But this right here, this is a different type of special. All right, this is above and special, and it's going to be typically a small cap gapper. And you're getting the breakout as we speak. It's a 246 high. It's up 87, 89% as it works into that 250. It's a good breakout, and most notably of all, this is a new trade, meaning it was doing very little in the way of volume or aggressive price action earlier on, even in the pre-market. The breakout right there on this 5-minute candle, bottom right of your screen, that's 1105, 1.6 million shares traded in that 5-minute candle. Moving on to the subsequent candle, that 1110 candle. Well, that 1110 candle's got 5.25 million shares traded. So trade it carefully. Here's the deal. $2 right now is what I'm looking at. That is if this candle closes red. If this candle closes green and the subsequent candle, the one that's going to open at 1120, maintains its higher low, we're going long. What I don't like is when I see a candle of indecision, like this, a doji candle at a clear area of resistance 2.5, that is undecided. Because if I punch in here, then I'll have to give it to prior bar low, and I don't want to do that. That's just too far away from me. That's south at 2. It's at 195. We're trading at 237. So it's too much of a risk to the downside for me to enter here based on the current candle pattern. So what I'm going to wait for is that 1120 candle to open up, and we're going to see what that one has to offer. But if it does turn around and it doesn't continue above that 2.5, I'm looking at VWAP. VWAP is a little bit ahead of that $2 area, 203, 205, we'll see. And it's one of those anomalous situations where the price action developed to the high side so quickly that VWAP is ahead of the 10 EMA. That typically is not the case. Usually the 10 EMA, there it goes, Bovin, through 2.5. So now the breakout is on. We're not going to be able to trade it, but it's all right. PRHI, the breakout is on, 260 high. It's maintaining the higher low, higher high pattern. You're seeing everything you need to see. 16.2 million shares, 100% in Greensville, 108% in Greensville, Joey, as it takes out 270. The strength is on PRHI. Traded carefully. You never know when they're going to turn around. BQ halted to the downside after making yet another high a day at 46.70. It's halted at 38.91. up 143%. I've been dealing with TMC. If it can get above 9, we'll get involved. Otherwise, what I see here is an uninterrupted series of lower highs. That ain't the move. I'm a long-only small-cap trader. VELO definitely has my attention. A little bit lighter on volume is VELO, but awfully respectful of areas of previous support and resistance. Case in point, it makes this 532 high, drops a whole bunch down to 482, but holds that 10 EMA and or VWAP to the T. It's also assisted in this prior area of resistance at 950. Resistance flips to support, or that least, that is what the textbooks say. So VELO also in focus for me right now. We're going to be doing it live on one of these. I'm going to be hopefully getting into the trade quite soon. Just need to iron out some things. Just before we go on, Joe, I think we got a super chat over here. Sadiq dropping cash in the chat. Thank you for the 5. Do you think short interest has the market pinned in between a rock and a hard place, even though valuations seem a little overextended? That is always the case, right? When you're always talking you're always talking to analysts, or you're listening to analysts talk, they're obsessed with valuations, and they should be. Obviously, it's a very sound long-term strategy. But when you're talking about riding momentum, valuation matters a little bit less, and technicals and momentum matter a bit more, until the market decides that that's as good as it's going to be for now, and then you start getting those lower lows and lower highs. That is your cue. But I see what you're saying. Look, I don't think the government shutdown is helping any. I think also we could have possibly had a jobs report that was not so good, according to Carlisle. It looks like September jobs were flat. We didn't get the data, of course. But yeah, look, there's plenty of things to say that are going bad. But when I look at the chart, I see those higher highs and those higher lows.
You like that look, brother. I know you love that good look there. Let's take a look at BMNR. Also, guys, we got a cool new tool that Fabian's been working on. We brought to you this the other day. So make sure you guys keep your eyes out on this. Any questions, concerns, or super chats is going to be going straight to here, and we're going to have access to it so we don't have to scroll all the time. So make sure if you guys have any specific question, there you go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, well, we didn't want to leave that. But anyways, this is what we're going to be using. And so, yeah, put your questions in there, and then we're going to be able to filter them out from the rest of the chat. Now, guys, I'm thinking about just going short. Why am I thinking about going short this market? Well, look. So we have this aggressive selling. The volume is to the downside. Brother, how does
I want to trade it, Joey.
Know, but hitting it any harder isn't going to allow you to do side quests. They side quest. I love a good side quest. It's honestly like one of my favorite things to do, just being outside, and then it's like, oh, bang, side quest. Can we pull that back up there for me one more time there, Assassino?
Get it,
bang,
Assassino.
thank you.
Show
do you think short interest has the market?
I just saw it.
Oh, did you? All right, bang. All right, so there goes my
my
selective hearing once again.
Okay. You're focusing, brother.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It's so bad. It's so bad. When I'm zoned in, it's literally everything just goes in one ear and out the other. Nothing registers. But okay, speaking of that, well, not speaking of it, going on to something else, I'm looking to continue this downside move. If we can't break this 2095 and we can get back up here, then we'll construct a lower high. So what I'm going to look to do is go short this overall market. I was mentioning earlier that the volume is into the downside, and I want to participate on that. Will the squeeze be a little bit more aggressive than we're anticipating? Probably to the top side. So again, patience. Or I could be totally wrong. This could be enough liquidity that absorb that they can just continue to move northeast. And I would prefer that, to be honest with you. I'm just more comfortable going long than I am short, even though we do take a couple of short trades. We did go over what we got going on AMD earlier in the day, boom, and it sold off aggressively. We were in at 213, it would have been nice, but look at this liquidity grab, it ebbs and flows. You have to get in at the top end of the range in order to participate in that, because with the size that I was putting on, like it's just like popping up and you're already $1 something out of the money, and that is not fun to be in. Why is AMD is bouncing while volume is low? It just seems to be like a cover rally in my opinion, right? And I wouldn't necessarily call the volume low. Relative to some of the other names it is, but it's just a really choppy mess, I think, in my opinion, this one. You had that nice strong pre-market price action, and I don't like those rallies just before the open. usually tend to get some selling, collect some data on that. A little bit of selling before the open, you get a little bit of a pop. A little bit of buying before the open tends to usually sell off additionally after that. So keep your eyes on there. That definitive base around 213.44s. That's not too bad of a look, but I was mentioning it earlier. I believe that AMD would have been more in play if we weren't so deep. Whatever inning you think it is, but I think we're at the 6th, 7th, whatever it may be. We would have continued this rally, but that's not the case. But let's go over our top performing sectors on the session. That's what I was going to do and see what we got cooking up. And are we performing well? Are we not? Are we doing this? All right, utilities. See, guys, you can see we're starting to get a little bit defensive here. So we got utilities at the top of its class, up 0.6, and then we have the consumer staples, 0.6 as well too. Financials holding on by a thread, 0.14%. The bottom three are going to be the industrials, down about 0.5%. Then you have the energy sector down 0.6. Consumer discretionary being led by the likes of who? I wonder. Okay, down 1.25. So that's not too bad of a look there. Comm service sitting in the middle of the pack. Let's take a look at Meta, and we'll go through a couple of the ETFs as well too. So I'm gonna stop kind of just eyeing Bitcoin here and just allow it to do its thing. But let's start with my favorite of all. That's going to be XLF. Why is it my favorite? I have no idea. I'm obviously being slightly sarcastic, but choppy price action, big time liquidity issues in the pre-market, and then today's intraday price action is hot garbage. So we don't want anything a part of that. XLC, that was the middle of our pack right there. Again, nothing beautiful. We'll go take a look at XLU. That is our best. XOU is our best performing sector. So let's take a look at that one here before we send it back to Sharif.
I thought he was calling me. Okay.
No, I think he was talking to me.
Cool.
Yeah, my mic fell there. XLU, not doing too much there. So yeah, I mean, nothing crazy. We'll do XOK, tech sector. Boom, taking it on the chin. Looking like a knockout blow right there, Sharif.
Yes, sir. All right. I just have to cover this for K Jamil 68. Okay. So looks like as if maybe there is some confusion as to where the morning note is. So if you subscribed, if you're now a paid user of our YouTube channel like we've been talking about, the way to get the morning note is super simple. You just go to the YouTube homepage. So we're under home. You go to posts. So right there, just click that bad boy there. Scroll all the way down, and then you'll see one from 3 hours ago. And the reason is it gets posted in the morning. Most notably, though, you're going to see a members only green rectangle inside. It says members only. You click read more right there, and there she is right at the bottom where it says read the full PDF here. You click that bad boy, and you're summoned right into the webpage. It's a PDF, so you can view it mobile. You can do whatever you want. Hope that helps, K Jamil. Super easy to find. Let me know if you're still having trouble. Absolutely willing to help whatever I can do. Okay. So what's the situation over here? We're short on TMC because, look, I'm a long-only trader, so I say I am, but this one keeps rejecting 9, so I'm just going to take some on this if I can. It's just a very obvious lower high setup in front of 9. I've got a trend line drawn here on the side chart, so I'm going to wet the beak. Get it, Adara. We're going to see if we can take some more to the downside. Yeah, this just keeps bleeding. We'll just keep taking more over here on TMC. Look, guys, I'm finding it hard to find any good small cap gappers today. You know, that's just the way it works. Sometimes the pickings are slim. So sometimes, you know, I got to go outside the regular playbook here, which is typically long only. So let's see if this one can work its way down below 880. I'm talking about TMC last time around. It found support at the 20 EMA on the 5, which was around 870. It's currently showing me 85s. I want to see if it can lose a little bit more. Otherwise, we'll just flatten out. We're short 95s. I tried to actually get 9s, but it wasn't letting me in. So that's the situation. We also have to keep covering BQ. Despite the fact that I really don't want to trade it because it's insane and it's awfully volatile. And the thing is, it halts to no end, okay? And that's not the only issue that I have with this. It's on the Amex network. So if it's on the Amex and it's halting to no end, I've got to fly blind 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time while this thing's halted. Now, having no idea whether there's a buy or sell imbalance, that just doesn't sit well with me, okay? Currently, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you only really need to see the theoretical auction price, the TAP, we call it, on the Nasdaq network, right? You're not going to see it on the New York. You're not going to see it on the Amex. So as a result, I don't like to trade the small cap gappers that are halting a lot if they're not on the Nasdaq. Full stop. So currently we're seeing the TAP saying 40.69. We halted at 40.69, obviously. I just got to tell you the exact time that we did halt. 11:27:21. It is 29 and change. So we'll keep tabs on that one. We got to send it to Adara, though. She's got the crypto segment.
We still have a lot of commentary coming from Fed's MYRN saying that he does not think that tariffs are a major factor in inflation and that the current forecast doesn't see tariffs driving up inflation much. He said that it might be yet to come, but he hasn't seen it as of yet. I do want to talk here, though, about crypto and about these two gentlemen. You might have seen them before. They are the Winklevoss twins, Cameron and Tyler. Sorry, I don't know which one is which, but I bring them up because, of course, they are behind Gemini, the very aptly named Gemini or Gemini space station, and some analysts actually initiated coverage on this one today, so let's talk about it. We have Truist and Mizuho. Truist here, $31 price target and buy rating for GEMI. Then Mizuho, outperform rating and $30 price target. So they're basically in lockstep with each other here. Analysts seem generally aligned with how they feel about the stock to begin with. So let's get into the ratings a little bit. Truist here, basically calling Gemini a baby Coinbase, for lack of a better term, saying that this could deliver a 53% compound annual revenue growth rate, and that it's great for people who weren't able to catch the Coinbase run and want to trade something relatively similar. So nice look there for GEMI. Here is Bitcoin. Bitcoin did take out yesterday's low and now also looks like Sunday's low as well after making two straight back-to-back all-time highs in consecutive days. BTC pullback makes sense. Definitely par for the course, especially when you consider the fact that we ran it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight days into said all-time highs. Looks like a pullback here for BTC. Ethereum, relatively similar. Right now, though, we actually are still above yesterday's low, which is something you could not say for Bitcoin. Let's see if Ethereum is able to hold that low from Monday. Back to you.
And bang.
What happened?
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Joey,
this is what I'm talking about. This is like, so I was talking with Gorev and everybody in the chat as usual, and I'm just like, hey, the volume is to the downside right now, and I'm just looking to follow it. Sorry, you get this pullback volume relatively cool, and I'm like, all right. Gorev's like, yeah, it's topping out. It feels like it's stalling. I'm like, honestly, I don't like going against my boys. Unfortunately, that's the case in this game. It is a single-player game, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You got to make your own choices at the end of the day. And I'm like, hey, I like the volume to the downside. Let's see if we can participate on that. By no means is this any monster of a trade or anything along those lines. I'm just looking to follow what the volume is up to. All right.
What happened, Joe?
Mr. Subarus, if I'm saying that right. Joseph. I like that I can read this now on the screen. All right. I bought Apple 03/2026. What was that? January, March. 165 back in June for $4.41. It's now $9. I plan post Xmas to take profits, but would it be bad to hold and get assigned 100 shares of Apple at 165? Absolutely not, in my opinion. I think 165 is a phenomenal.
165?
Yeah, that's what he's buying. Would you not want that?
100%.
Would you not want that?
That's like a 2.5, I think like 2.8, 2.7 trillion. So that valuation screams excellent to me.
165, yeah. I mean, that's like $100 pretty much it's cheaper than what we're currently trading.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed that.
On the daily, right? Yeah. And I think that we have the ability to break. To be honest with you, as the market's holding up, as the market's selling, Apple's holding up relatively well. And then just from this consolidation that we're experiencing on the daily, I didn't take enough off of thing here, Tesla.
You want me to take over?
No, 1 second. That's all right, I got this. If it comes back to my break even, so be it. All right, let's go back to the daily and see what we got going on. This is what Sharif's talking about. I'm like, yeah, Sharif, brother, you're right. And I was looking at this as well, too. This is a consolidation. It can most definitely break through and put in a new high. And I think that's going to be what's going to happen, honestly, personally. So just be patient, be patient, be patient. It's not like this hot G word over here. It's absolute dumpster fire on the session on Bitcoin. Not getting that consolidation. I'm obviously being sarcastic. You had consecutive days to the top side. It would be smart of me to lock in some profits, especially if we continue to bleed and head back into the middle of the range. But yeah, as for Apple, you got a lot of those contracts. You're rocking and rolling, not too bad of a look. So I would still hold on to them, sell 50, get into a little bit of cash. But also, if you're willing to let them expire worthless, you'll lose the time value on the contracts, but then you obviously are $100 essentially in the money. So on all of that, we got another, pop that super chat back up there for me, Assassino, on the old screen there. Bang, $4.99, critical alt escape. I didn't roll my calls in SoFi yet, Joey. Okay. Got super lucky this morning. 30 contracts, $27.50. 1017 brick squad there, sold at 28.50, might rebuy further out the dip. I agree with that. I like everything. You got lucky. It's not luck, my friend. You were in that position. I remember you talking to me about it. Continue to do what you're doing. It's not all luck. There's some skill behind that. I'm all for buying things at a lower price, locking some profit in, and getting back in. Way to go. Good work there, my friend. Critical alt escape.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I think, yeah. Shout out, Control All Escape there. I like that.
We got someone gifted memberships there as well.
I missed that.
Oh no, never mind. We got some welcomes.
No, you're good. All right.
Welcomes, yeah.
All right. We're in VELO here for a pullback into yes, that volume weighted average price. Looking to scalp. Look, the pickings are slim. Okay, they are. So we're going to have to take some trades here that I wouldn't necessarily love. VELO, it's not bad, but the spread is quite displeasing to me. Let's see if it can work its way back up into 5 1/3. I don't want to say double top, but it's got a 532 high. It looks like last time around it rejected 520. Didn't spend too much time there. So let's see if we can get back above 5. This is the volume weighted average price. So the buyers were waiting there. I'm long 90s. I've wet the beak there at, I think, 97s as it popped up. Now we're waiting north of 5 at around 504. VELO is the ticker. We'll see what this one does. I've got my stop just below this consolidation area low. But there are other ones that the chat was nice enough to bring to my attention. So let's start with GLTO. So this thing is insane, right? It's up 584%. But the situation with this one is it's putting in lower highs. And I don't really want to say flat bottom break candidate, but it does feel like a $23, maybe $21 flat bottom break. The reason I say that, price action seems to bounce off 23, volume weighted average price at 21. I'm not going to trade this as a range, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. Secondly, there's also CCHH. Let's take off Miggy over here. So CCHH, this one is halted, I believe, or was halted. It was halted to the upside around 469, makes a 5 high. Now it's down halted at 419. It's only up 12 2/3. Be careful with it. As you can see here, it's a multiple halter and it kind of is insane and goes both ways. All right, nice. We took a scalp there on VELO as it broke through 5 momentarily. We're looking for more, but we're going to have to pause for a second because we're going back to Adair at the big desk.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, Trump and Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, are set to meet soon. Right now, we're just waiting for them to do their little greeting outside. Then they will move into the White House, and there will be, usually how it works is each leader talks for a bit, and then there is a Q&A. I will keep you guys posted on all of that, but just so you guys know, the stream of their meeting outside the White House has begun. It is live. Once I get any updates and see any of them, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Shout out.
Shout out.
All right. Shout out to Casey as well, man. Casey is quickly becoming a serious chat OG. Not just Joey, because she trades a small cap gapper, which I, of course, have an affinity for.
Yeah, she gets a little bit of favoritism right there.
Yeah, just a little bit, right? You trade small caps, you're going to get
like
love.
you a little bit
That's
more.
just the way it is. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Casey, for gifting everybody, the members. Casey gifting everybody 5 members. Well, not everybody, but gifting 5 memberships. Fluffy Hippo got one. Outlaw Pickleball, love the name, got one as well. Who else? Sports Clips just smashed one. J Fonzie 19, Blessed Journey, y'all got one, and you guys all thank Casey for that. Thank you, Casey, for the kindness that you're showing every day and the commitment to your craft, because you're putting in work. every day. So shout out to you and thank you very much for gifting everybody, guys. Still in this position here, VELO, couple of scalps. It is coming back down a little bit now. Let's see what we can get on this bad boy here, Joey Options.
Jose. My guy, yeah. Well, I know what you're up to there, my boy. Yeah, the market's selling pretty aggressively here. Again, we're just looking to try and follow the volume on the session. You can see after Adara brought us that news. Adam, I'm not, my friend. To be honest with you, full disclosure, I'm red. AMD chopped me up, and so did Bitcoin earlier in the morning. So I'm grinding. I mean, I was on the brink of elimination, but we're slowly grinding back.
Like the Yankees are?
Oh my, Sharif, if they don't win tonight, it's all your fault.
I want them to lose, Joey. I want to go to game 5 at the Dome.
You want to go to game 5,
don't tell anybody.
No, all right.
They'll kill me around here, right? Like Neil,
I mean,
Sean. Even Brendo's a big Jays fan. Big time.
Oh, yeah? All right. Yeah, I can see.
A lot of people don't know that, but he is.
Yeah, big time Jays fan. I mean, we obviously love the Jays. I think that they have the chance to sweep them, but I don't know. Aaron Judge is just so dangerous. You have to be careful. That guy can change the game in an instant. And what I'm thinking is they essentially did win the second half of the game there on.
They did, which I didn't like, Sunday, Joey.
Right? Yeah,
because they started. they caught a bid.
Right.
You don't want them to catch a bid.
You don't want them catching a bid.
Right.
Next thing you know, they're slapping it,
exactly.
and they're hitting dingers left, right, and center. So
how much of degens we are. Like I'm turning into Obi. We're like Obi. Everything is trading related to him. You know what I mean? Take the trade.
Everything is like you don't even understand. You talk about it. I wouldn't even tell you the conversation that Obi and I had. He's like, yeah, it just does more volume. I'm like, brother, you know what? I remember.
Okay, cut the crap, Joey.
Tell him.
Cut the crap.
Are you gonna tell him?
Yes, I want to tell him because it's hilarious.
Yeah, tell him.
So
him.
there's 3 stalls in the men's room. Okay, everybody wants the last stall. Everybody wants their privacy there.
Yeah.
I get it. But Obi brought a very good point.
He
so
did.
Joey saw Obi's like, you're not going to use the last stall? And Obi's like, nah, man. That one sees way too much volume, right? Like, which is true, but I wouldn't have put it like that. But yeah, he is Obi.
There's zero chance I would have put it like that. I could tell you that, and nor was I thinking about how much volume the stall was doing.
So descriptive,
all right, let's try.
Don't care.
Let's try this one more time. Are we going to it? We're not going to it there right now. All right, let's try this one more time. We're cooking up in this short. We're gonna hop in on some IBIT long. I love the potential stopping volume here. Really starting to pick up on the 1 minute. Get it, Adara. Yes, I know. It's all right.
Adara's out there firing out yawns.
It's all right, man. It's all right. We keep
Adara.
It's like do. They're coming. Hey, but see, the thing is though, when I sneeze, I sneeze like 10, 15 times in a row.
Yeah, I do that as well.
Yeah, do you do that?
I used to have bad allergies.
But it's not even that. Like yesterday, it's like sneeze. So all right. Enough of that talk. We're still short TSLL here from 2085. Now we're going to hop in the long potential bottoming signal there on IBIT. I'm only in a fraction of the size that I was in before. Howard, brother, we don't do that stuff, man. Come on, be respectful.
Howard.
Be respectful, Howard, my friend.
Howard, look, I got a full cup of coffee over here. It's all natural. We do this every day. Can you imagine if we were hitting that stuff, coming to work every day and smashing 2 sessions?
No, you couldn't. I don't think you could. No, there's no way. Yeah.
Over there.
Come on, brother. Show some respect.
Get it, Howard.
Respect us. Anyways, that doesn't help the case.
Look what he just said.
What did he say?
Yeah. He's caveating it, Joey.
Yeah. Obviously, right? Coca-Cola. I knew you meant that anyways from the get-go.
Joey, options. Can I cover something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
We're starting to cook up in IBIT, but there we go. We're starting to pull back a little bit on TSLL.
All right, guys, GLTO, that's that one that's up 674%. It's substantially off the high, so I'm not going to get too crazy about this. But look, it's breaking trend, at least for the moment. It's taking out some local area highs. I'm talking about that $28 area. It's on the way to take out as well, looks like 28.5, which was another local area high. Clearly, obviously, you have to deal with this red candle here at 9:45, which is the official high of the day. That is 31.70. All this area highs, these are pre-market highs that, are not official, but they did take place, and they took place, on volume. Take a look at the volume bars there in the pre-market. They supersede the volume bars during regular trading hours, so that should tell you something. So I just want to tell you, GLTO is kind of moving. I'm unlikely to trade this just based upon where it is. as a breakout. Now, I do not mind taking a shot at this one at around 24 bucks, maybe a little bit higher. And why do I say that? Basically, every single print, closing print that is, from around 8:40 a.m. I shouldn't say every single, the majority of them, okay? I exaggerate for effect, has basically defended $24. So I know there's a buyer at $24. You don't need to be a chartered market technician to see that. So I typically don't trade these as ranges, but I would make an exception here for GLTO because the pickings are slim. So I'm going to keep my eye out on that one. I'm still involved in VELO. We'll see how this one does. Dare.
Keep an eye here on the market. We have more comments coming here from Fed's Kashkari. We know we just heard from Fed's MYRN saying that tariffs are unlikely to impact inflation. Well, Kashkari saying that it's actually too soon to know if inflation will be sticky from tariffs. Furthermore, and I think maybe more of concern, Fed's Kashkari said that the data is sending some stagflation signals. So after we get a fairly dovish commentary coming there from Fed's MYRN, Fed's Kashkari coming in a lot more cautious. He and Goolsbee have been two of the more hawkish Fed speakers as of late, with Bostic in a close third, guys. Back to you.
The ugliest, worst case scenario that I don't want to hear anything about, obviously plagued the 1970s, where you have stagnant economy, you're not growing, but things are getting more expensive. How the hell does that work? Stagflation, the economists say. Joey,
yeah.
I want none of that.
I want none of it either, but I'll tell you one thing, I can't stand Kashkari, man. I truly don't like that guy.
Yeah, you don't like Neil?
Is that what you guys think he looks like Neil?
No, his name's Neil. Just spelled differently, though. Spelled a little bit differently.
Yeah, all right. I mean, should I add to this Bitcoin here potentially? Maybe, possibly. Let's see what we got going on. If we put in a new low, 2055, we're going to take a little bit off of the Tesla trade. But I mean, stagflation, shouldn't that be good for the crypto space? Again, don't stop trying to rationalize what the market is doing, because you will be running in circles. That is a rabbit hole you do not want to go down, because there is no end to that one, and there's no rationalizing what goes on here from a day-to-day basis. So anyways, guys, at least USD is strong at the moment. Yeah, I mean, congratulations compared to the old snow peso over here. Now, okay, this is what I want to display you guys. Here's the IBIT trade off of this hammer candle. We have a pretty good entry. We do get that 20. See, the thing that's so frustrating is that you get that 10-cent pop, but I am literally holding 25% of what I had on these entries, not this one, on these two entries. And then this was the easiest one. It's just like bang, 10, 15 cents just like that. And I'm like, why can't it be that easy when I go significantly more heavy? But I think this is going to be a good ad opportunity. I'm just grinding back here. We're going to add here. We're going to double it up. So now we're in 50% of the size that we had. I think 69.30s could be a potential target on there. Now let's see if we can get a new low here on Tesla and piece a little bit out. Bang, you're getting a pop there. Come on, let's go Bitcoin. It was selling a little bit more aggressive in the earlier hours of the session than the overall market. So now maybe we're going to experience a rebound. Oh, okay, that was short-lived. So TSLL, what do you got going on? Okay, we did put in a new low, so I'm going to piece a little bit out here, Shreve.
All right, Adara, weasel in for a second if you're able to. Any word online about the Tesla release? Any time, anything like that? Any speculation?
No, but I know where to look. I'm going to check out Tesla Boomer Mama's account right now and get back to you guys.
Thank you, Adara.
Anybody knows it's probably her.
Appreciate that, Adara. Thank you. So there you go, Fluffy Hippo. We're finding out there for you, brother, because I know that's what you're talking about. Shout out to the Yogi, the Fluffster. Here's the deal. Bovin calling out BQ. It is coming down. Bovin, it is right at that $32 area. That is the volume weighted average price. And the last time BQ glanced at VWAP was 10:50 a.m. and it ended up being a hammer candle that closed above VWAP. Momentarily breached it, of course, on a wick basis. But here we go. This thing was at 32. Now it's at 34.5. It's kind of the reason why I don't want to trade it, okay? It's hard to manage risk, especially when you're on the show, and I've got to answer questions, I've got to talk to Joey, and then this one, unless you're fixated on it all the time, and you've got a very, very wide spread on your stop, because otherwise you're going to have to use market spreads. It's just, there's a plethora of reasons why I don't want to get involved in this one on the show. But yeah, it is good. No question about it. It has a lot of upside potential, especially off VWAP. And there you go. Now it's at 35 and change, having just been at 32.30 moments ago. So trade this carefully, please, guys. I'm going to keep my eye on it as well. NCNA. But then look, this one is a slow one. I know you didn't mention this one, but I want to take your opinion on it. I see respect here for technicals on NCNA. I'm just seeing a little bit less volume than I typically would like. 744,000 shares traded so far, despite the fact that this one's been trading decently since the open. Here's what I see. A pullback into the 10 EMA, so I see a bull flag from that 950 or 940 breakout. We move up, we consolidate sideways, boom, we pop up again, and now we're consolidating sideways again. So I feel like we're in the formation of the second bull flag, maybe towards the end, especially having gotten now to that $6 resistance area, right? Psychological resistance area, of course. So what better area to have the consolidation component of the bull flag, of the bull pennant, than at a key technical area or psychological area, again, excuse me, at $6 on NCNA. So I'm interested in this one. I'll pick it up at a more advantageous price. I'm thinking maybe the 10 EMA. It did hold the 10 EMA when it was bull flagging over here from essentially 10.10 to the breakout at 10.50. So 590 or 5 high 80s right now is where the 10 EMA on the 5 is. I could absolutely be persuaded to work into this with maybe, you know, a 10, 15 pennies stop. So that's what I'm looking at there. What else we got? GLTO did not continue, but I will likely be a buyer of GLTO, as I mentioned, at around 24 and change. We'll have to see what kind of price I can get on this bad boy. I'm definitely not taking the breakout trade, given that once, twice, OBE is the one, thrice. It basically gave you a few false breakouts there, 3 false breakouts from how I read that. So that's my look right now. Here comes NCNA into the 10 EMA. Let's take a gander at what this one looks like on the trading screen. I'm not going to probably trade BQ, so we can take that one off. NCNA, tell me it's on the NQ. Tell me it is. Good. Here we go. So it's a widespread, immediate observation, 7 penny spread, displeasing to me immediately. But we're going to try. We're going to give this one the old college try. NCNA. Come on, Sharif. Good job, buddy. Good job. All right, so right now, if I'm going to punch in, let's see if I can get the midpoint. Let's see if we can get the midpoint. Did we get the midpoint? Oh, boy. Oh, it's still showing BQ. There we go. We did get the midpoint there. So we did get 90s. So let's see now where the technicals are at. So now I will defend into, oh, wow, dude, no way. Oh, I almost got caught in a down halt there. Ooh. Just look at that. The bamboozle, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I just got rinsed on that. Oh, that was not good. Look at that, Joey. It literally dry. Yeah, so this was really, really ugly right there. That is prohibitively ugly. You punch in at 90, and I had to flatten out at 33s because it was going to go into a halt. How much did we lose there, man? I need to know immediately. Oh, not too bad at all. Okay, good, because we were not many shares. But yeah, NCNA, that's on my crap list right now, and I'm not trading that again. That's insane. That's just unpredictable price action. So that's going to lose its spot on the side chart real quick. Let's see what else is going on. Anything else moving over here? Seeing CISS trying to work its way back above VWAP. That's not going to work out either. Sorry, guys, just looking at the side charts over here, trying to pick out the right one. Nothing doing right now, Joey. I've been looking, man. There's just really not that much. Wow. Okay, it's pickings are slim, guys. Yeah. We're gonna have to really pack our patience today because there's not a whole lot going on. I do apologize.
All right. So yeah, I mean, this is working out here, guys, on the Tesla show. We were just looking to follow the volume. Vancouver Isle guy, hope you have a good day, man, my friend. I wish nothing but the best for you, but you won't be participating in the chat here.
Oh,
so
what happened?
Have a good. It's all right. Doesn't really matter. Vancouver Isle guy, hope you have a good one.
Wow.
All right, and I hope the Canucks have a successful season.
They're probably
as well too. So IBIT.
What is this?
Let's
guy,
see.
though?
This he's gone. Oh, he's long gone, brother. Yeah, he's long gone. So yeah, all right, guys. The issue here being, just trying to catch these falling knives, not really working here on IBIT. So what I made on Tesla, essentially, if I were to get out at those lows, 68.90, I just gave right back there in IBIT. So if we can get a bounce back towards our break even, I think we're going to look to just hop out of that one, considering I think that this Tesla trade was definitely a better one, in my opinion, just looking to follow the volume. Pullback wasn't there, starting to cool off. You might get that bounce. So we'll be patient. If we have the ability to crack, but you can see, crack 69.20 is the key level. Yeah, you know what? Oh, it's 69.20?
Yeah.
Well, I was saying so because I said what the new kids these days are calling, and I said, anyway, I said, like, not the drug crack. Oh. Right? So yeah, again, it's all up. Anyways, I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. Sorry. And I
just don't understand, Joe.
I know. I'll tell you off screen. All right. So so yeah, there it is. Again, we're having a hard time getting back north of this level, so we might just hop out of that one for a currently small loss if we don't sustain this move. But then as for TSLL, not aggressive enough, but if I put on a little bit more shares, I think we would have been able to go nicely green, but that's not the case, so that's what if history. So we go down. I went to take some out right here, and then I by accidentally added it. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted to do. It wasn't anything substantial or whatever, so boom, I just take it out immediately, and then we just get that nice move to the downside. Okay. So bang, 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 that's what we got going. BM&R is getting absolutely smoked. I was actually looking to go long this name via some calls, but again, we open up at the top end of this range, as I was looking at from a daily, and then you're heading right back in. So if we can hold $50, then maybe we'll look to get involved in that, though. And yeah, exactly. Whoop-de-doo is right. So whoop-de-doo, it's either this one works. Come on, I don't want Tesla to bounce. We want IBIT to bounce. So that's what I got going on here. Let's take a look at some of the volume names, see if there's anything outstanding in what we got at the top of its class here today. That's the option chain. GLTO, who are you? Okay, Rigetti coming off of those lows. Is that space looking to pull back aggressively? I hope so. I would love to get involved with some quantum names for the foreseeable future. Just hold them in the long term. Extremely forward looking on that one. QBTS here. I'll just pull it up here so we can see it a little bit better. And then sure enough, I got all the charts that I need on my side. AAL. Someone said they were trading that one this morning. Everything is selling. It's all selling. So you can see only a couple names. SoFi holding onto the red. Boom. Tanks there. Tank City. And then GLTO, this thing's up an insane amount of here, 644%. Were you trading this name there, Sharif? Adara, GLTO?
No.
Yeah, just be aware here, guys, that Trump and Carney just greeted each other outside of the White House. Now, usually how this goes is after a couple minutes, they get set up, the camera gets set up, and we get a new stream of the leaders talking from inside the White House. I'm covering this. I'll let you guys know what's happening. But it is worth noting Carney and Trump have met up and greeted each other. Also, Jamie Dimon making some comments right now as well. CEO of JP Morgan right now just talking about the company's AI spending. Nothing major, but he's talking as well. Lots happening today. Back to you.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Of course, there's a lot at stake for this country. This is the second time our new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, is going to meet with President Donald Trump in the Oval Office. Like, let me tell you, I thought it went quite well first time around, especially since, it was after the Zelensky incident, after some of the dressing downs that some of the other world leaders got. Carney certainly was not dressed down, but he doesn't really lend himself into a dressing down. He is more reserved, more calculated, less risky, I would say, as a politician. And I happen to like that about him. And I've mentioned many times I didn't vote for him, but I think that he is a sound thinker and a business person. I think that's what we need in this country at the moment. But really what I want to focus on is the futile nature of the trade discussions that are happening right now between Canada and the United States. Basically, 91 to 93% of the trade happening between Canada and the United States is covered already under the CUSMA deal. That's the new NAFTA. Only about less than 10% is actually being is actually affected by the new tariffs that President Trump instituted since he came in. So what I'm trying to get at is the reckoning for this country is still coming. Okay, when CUSMA gets renegotiated, I think next year or late the year after that, I think that's when things are going to really, really get interesting because that covers the majority of the trade. So we're going to have to see how that all works out. I think that that's really going to be the big test for this new prime minister when CUSMA has to get renegotiated, not the single-digit trade that's currently covered by the new tariff. So that's my little 2 cents on that. Obviously, I hope Canada does well and President Donald Trump gives us a fair shake. Otherwise, you know, we may be in some economic trouble. Let's just call a spade a spade. So here's the deal. We're in TMC, again here, Joey options. We got in at 68 at the volume weighted average price, and we're taking some prints here up into the high side. We are south of the 10 EMA on the 5, which leads me to have a bit of a bias that we're still, you know, a little bit in sell zone right now. So I've got an XB wetter at 82. Let's see exactly what we can kind of get with that. So I'm packing my patience there. Also separately, BQ halted to the upside again. I think man, this one bounced beautifully off VWAP. Now it's almost $10 higher. It was a 32.42 area low. Now it's halted to the high side at $40.99, having halted at 11.56.12. So it'll be at least 12.01.12 before this one opens. That's in a couple of minutes. We'll have to see how that one ends up doing. So keeping an eye there. GLTO, above in. I think this one is changing trend a little bit now. We're starting to see GLTO put in now higher lows. Before, we were talking about the lower lows, right? We were kind of putting in lower low. Then this was the kind of inflection point, 1035, 1040. We're putting in higher lows now, and we're about to take out that 3170 area, which is the official high of the day. So GLTO in focus. It is halted up. I just realized that right now, halted at 3026. I'll tell you guys exactly when this one halted, so we can know when it will likely unhalt as soon as we get back from Adair with happening now.
Right now, they're just organizing these reporters to cover the Trump and Carney meeting. They have disappeared. The reporters are getting lined up outside. I'm just listening to that right now. Once these two men are on screen talking to each other in an office, I will let you guys know right away, so stay tuned. Right now, here's the Nasdaq trying to maybe put in a little bit of a base here in this 15-minute chart. Lots of weakness. Now, there wasn't one clear catalyst to push this to the downside. We did get a slightly higher than expected one-year inflation expectation print from the New York Fed, 3.4% versus the previous of 3.2% and the forecast of 3.1%. But there's another negative catalyst that came here around the same time as the drop in the market, and that involves Oracle ORCL. We've talked a lot about their very, very lofty projections for their cloud infrastructure revenue heading over the next 5 years. But specifically, what I want to talk about here is the fact that the information reported that apparently there's quite a lot of loss happening here. They're having a hard time with this revenue generation versus loss when it comes to their Nvidia Blackwell chip business. Apparently, these rentals have a razor-thin profit margin, to quote the article from the information. Then we also have on watch here Tesla TSLA. We know here are the two most popular models of the company, Model Y and Model 3. Model Y reportedly getting a less expensive version, now the cheaper variety of Model Y, as reported by Bloomberg and a couple other sources. I looked into this. I cannot find anyone saying a time of this event or how that's really going to go down if there is an event. Unclear how this unveiling is going to go. If I get more details, I'll keep you posted. And we're going to send you back to the Bash Brothers. And we have also to thank our friends at Plus 500. Are you looking for a futures trading platform that actually delivers without hidden costs? With Plus 500 futures, you get free live charts, transparent fees, low margins, and an unlimited demo. So you can practice until you're ready to trade live. Open an account and start trading with as little as $100. With Plus 500's powerful platform, you can access a wide range of futures markets, the S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, gas, Forex, metal, cryptos, and more, all in one place. Plus, enjoy a welcome bonus of up to $200 in commission-free trading. Just scan the QR code on screen to apply for your account today. And join over 30 million users worldwide who've already chosen Plus 500. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Dara. All right, Joey, just quick cover here. TMC has been good to us today. We're long, we're short, now we're long again on TMC off the volume weighted average price at 68. We just wet the beak there at 89. Next profit taker waiting at 93. Let's see if this one can finally get above 9. But guess what? If it rejects 9 again, your boy's going short again, just like we did over here. So let's watch intently to see if $9 clears. If it clears on a decisive basis, I'll take the breakout trade. I got no problems. Shout out to Howard. Howard dropping 5 cash in the chat. We are so very sorry about what is happening here in the USA about Canada. Brother, don't apologize. You guys got to do you. We got to do us, right? At the end of the day, hopefully we'll get a deal that, you know, kind of cuts both ways and is fair to both parties, and we kind of move along our merry way, and this whole thing is in the rear view, hopefully sooner rather than later.
And be the strongest allies on the planet.
We have been for, I don't know, 100 plus years.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Yeah.
We got those. We got those.
There you go. There you go.
There it is. What happens to Tesla if reveal is 35K Y model? Model Y. Great question.
Joey, you know, like I got it. Let's just think about this out loud. Let's just do a thinking experiment here. What kind of margins is he gonna have on a $35,000 EV?
No,
11%, 10%. What are we talking about for real, though?
Lucky.
You know what I mean?
If you're lucky.
And we've seen the Chinese struggle with this as well. That pissed off the Chinese regulator. You know, when they threatened the Chinese EV companies, said stop cutting prices, stop this race to the bottom. We know for a fact that margin compression is a real thing when you start trying to, you know, get that cheap EV out there. Yeah, maybe they sell a lot of it, maybe it gets deliveries up again, but I don't see this being a needle mover in terms of profitability. You know what I mean?
It can't be. It can't be. As we talked about before, the margins are too low. I'm just trying to read what you guys got going on in the chat there, Gorev and everything. That 5-minute print on Tesla, I was short. I got all out of the short there, and I wish I had the ability to participate in that one. TSLA on the 5-minute was just absolutely beautiful, but there it is, bang, bang, bang. We take that short all the way to the downside, and then there's a 5-minute print right here that just says, hey, take me long. I'm ready to just rock and roll, and sure enough, it's been screaming to the top side. There's a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of tags in the chat here, so I'm going to get it back to them here momentarily. Is that just the same one, or did you super chat the exact same thing 3 times? Let's figure that out. I'm going to get out of IBIT here because we got to concentrate on some of these super chats. I would love to stick in it. It's starting to pull back in, but you guys are the priority right now.
All
right. So Ross About. What's up, Ross About? Joe, can you please give a class on the reasons for taking small positions in a trade as it moves in the direction you want, either shorting or going long? It will help newer traders. Okay, so what I'm getting from this question here, and if I'm wrong, obviously just type it in and we'll go over it once again. I like the question as well too. I think for me personally, guys, you know my style is that to start a position, once it starts working out, you want to build in, and that's when you get kind of the grade of trades that Obi's always going over, right? It's like, is this A class, B class, C class? I think it's really important to label the quality of the setup, and that's going to help you size into the position correctly. So if you've seen the setup on multiple occasions, you have data backing it, 7 out of the last 10 times has done it. You usually want significantly more, 70 out of the last 100 trades. The trade has worked, gone 1-to-1. You go a little bit heavier, you go B class, and then once it starts to work in, you get in full size. But if it's a lower quantity and you're getting that itch that Sharif always talks about, you're just getting that degen feel, I need to get involved in this name, then that's when you go smaller size. And if it does start to work out, that's when you start to build it. But I think to summarize your question is that you want to grade the quality of your setups from A, B, C, and D, and then rank them, and then also categorize X amount of shares to each individual ones. And then when you see that A class setup, you're like, all right, we're going full risk right off of the jump, and then you just take the trade at either you take that full 1-hour loss, or you just, it continues and you hit that 2-to-1, that 3-to-1, or you go on the B size, you take 50 shares, whatever it may be, you take that half-hour loss, wait for things to cool off. But I think just the moral of it is categorize the size, and that's going to help you depict which potential setup is going to be A plus, B plus, C, D, whatever it may be. So hopefully that helped or answered your question. I may have rambled on and gone in circles, but that's just specifically what I do. So yeah, categorize, start small, and then once it really starts to work out, you really want to hammer those trades and hopefully maximize them as much as you could potentially can. Yeah, dynamic sizing, exponential bet sizing, another term for it. It's something that I most definitely try to do at most, for sure. It's the exact same thing that I got going on with these IBIT calls, right? It's like, okay, they're slowly starting to work. You buy lower, and then you hammer it when it does start to work.
Well said, Joey. All right, still involved in this, what's it called, TMC. It looks like now it's rejecting 90. So as I watch a little bit more, it is coming up into that 90 penny area, and it looks like the shorts are now in control in and around 90 pennies. And this is important because, well, it had been rejecting 9 before. Now it's not quite making it up there. So that would be yet another lower high. Now, that doesn't mean it's not tradable. It just means you need to be alive to that fact. Now, that all could be moot if this ends up clearing that 890 area and starts working on its way into $9. So we'll keep tabs on that separately. NCNA, where's my NCNA? Okay, I don't have it on a trading screen, but I need to bring this to your attention. It is not halted, but it's... Okay, cool. Thank you, Adara. Thank you for letting us know that. So right now, Mark Carney, Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Donald Trump have weaseled into the Oval Office right now. So they will start talking about trade. So, you know, maybe some market volatility here that could ensue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just load up that bad boy. I've got them right here. Here we go. President Trump, Prime Minister Mark Carney, hoping obviously for the best. I think they do like each other. I think Donald Trump does like Mark Carney, as he said multiple times. And Carney doesn't lend himself to, for people not to like him. It's just what I'm trying to say ineloquently over here. I think that he is a likable guy. He doesn't really strike me as someone who would create too much controversy. So we'll have to see how this all works out. We've got President Trump and Prime Minister Carney on the side screen, so we'll be listening to that. But I wanted to mention NCNA. Before I digressed, NCNA's back up. Is this halted? Why does it look like it's halted? 595, bouncing up off the volume weighted average price, holding VWAP to a T on a four candle basis on the 5-minute chart, now working into the $6. 605 is the high, by the way. I should let you know that they are taking questions now. The media is asking questions of the two leaders, so there's like a media scrum happening at the moment. Watch out for some volatility, obviously, as we mentioned, as that could be quite volatile. So we'll keep tabs on that. What else we got over here? Yeah, let's pull up NCNA because it's really breaking out. Which one am I going to take off on the side chart over here? Let's take off NCNA. We'll throw that bad boy on there. There it is, right at $6. So this one's the one that got me in a whole bunch of trouble. As I had punched into 590, it dropped all the way down into 533, which was literally the bottom. But I mean, there's no way for me to know that that was the bottom, so I had to flatten out. And now there is right back into that 605 high, 610. The breakout is on, and the volume is a lot better this time around, I should say. NCNA now has about 950,000 shares, so about 250,000 more than when we last spoke. So let's see what this one does. It's still about an 8-penny spread, 9 on the bid, 1 on the ask. Let's see exactly what this one does. But yeah, I don't want to get cut up too much on this name because I obviously got caught offside on it. And so I want to be a bit careful over here. We'll see if it can clear 6 decisively. If it doesn't, then I'm looking right back at 590. We covered it, Adara, that the fact that it's live. We covered it. All right, if you want to add anything, just let me know. Go ahead. Okay, yeah, she just wanted to let you guys know that, yeah, it's they're speaking right now. We'll keep you guys updated if there's anything new. Yeah, Prime Minister Carney, President Trump in the Oval Office, Joey, NCNA, new day's high of 621.
Nice look there. All right, so yeah, hopefully that answered your question there, Ross, about, there's a couple other things that I wanted to mention, but now I've slipped my mind. Pathic, so if the hammer candle is preceded by an inverted hammer candle on the 15-minute daily, at the end of this upcoming print, it suggests strong bullish momentum. If the hammer candle is preceded by an inverted hammer candle on the 15-minute, give me the ticker. You would want to see more buying pressure, right? So it's like, if you see, so say you have a consolidation formed and you see sellers push price back down, but it's continuously closing up as hammer candles, for me that's going to be bullish momentum. All right, I wouldn't even call it momentum, just bullish price action. What I'm going to do here for you guys is something that we haven't done in quite some time, and we're just going to run over this here really quick because this is what Gorev and all the lads here are consistently looking for, including myself. So I'll do that. Sharif, give me like 20 seconds if you don't mind, brother.
Of course, Joey, of course. No worries. All right, we're back in like a psycho into NCNA after the shellacking we got. So let's see what we can get on this 18 seller. I'm going to wait a little bit higher than 18, so we'll wait at 19s. Let's see if we can kind of move up there. I'm not going to be quick to get out of this now that I know that, you know, this one, how this one sings its tune, so to speak. So I will get in smaller positions here with the idea that the bid can absolutely get wiped off the level 2, and I'll have to pick this up at lower levels, which is why I'm getting in small position initially, and then we're going to look to get in at some more advantageous levels. There's a seller at 18 there. The seller's been at 18 for a hot minute. There we go. Now we're showing 19s, but we're not printing because we're not crossing. So there it is. There's the print at 19s. We've got nothing north of that. So again, we'll put 25s, and then we're also going to put 33s here on NCNA. Again, knowing full well what this one did to me last time and trying to plan for that this time by getting in small entries with plain DCAs to ride the trend. So we're looking to defend 6, and there it is. We get the 6 print because it dipped into 6. Now watch what it does. I got to cover this.
Yep.
All right, now let's see what it does. So we got that 6 print there. Does it hold 6? So now we've got 09s on at the moment. So let's go ahead and post a little bit higher than that. Now that's not the only level that I'm looking at. Why is it doing that? There we go. There we go. So we got 09s. Let's go ahead and wait over here. And then we're going to wait also at 20s again now that we got 09s. So we'll see what we can get there. And I still have another plain DCA in the low 90s. We'll see if we can get that one picked up. But for now, we just picked up that 602. Let's see if it weasels its way right back up into that 621 area, keeping an honest look there. Shout out to All Class Adam. We have a natural conflict with Canada, says Trump. Yeah. Well, you know, I think he means it in a different way. I think he's talking about economically rather than militarily, of course, Adam. But yeah, it is the nature of the current geopolitical environment that we have to deal with. So, Joey.
Yeah, all right, so Patrick, this is essentially what we're looking for. We're going to do a quick rundown. So you see these hammer candles, you see the volume, and you see the price action after. We can go through countless names. You get it in Google, you have the volume correlated. This is VPA. Yes, it blows past it. Not everything works 100%. This is AMD. We have now tapped into that level. Look what's happened following AMD, and you take it long. So essentially, you want to look for those signals at extreme highs and extreme lows. That's a really quick crash course here. I'll go over something else. There's a lot more detail. This is lessons that we used to run here. There's another example of it right there. You have the volume supporting it. Look what happens after that. It's at a low. You're south of an indicator. You have that genuine close as a hammer. You have the volume supporting it. You have another print right there at the volume weighted average price. You bounce. So you want to look for these specific signals at extreme highs, extreme lows, and at the volume weighted average price. So there is just a little quick crash course on what we're looking for. And heading over to your Qs to your Qs example, yes, this is what we want. So to add more depth into it, if you have an engulfing candle volume print that is, and then you're preceded by some potential buying pressure, look for that to hold. But as soon as you exceed about 60 to 70% of that wick, look for some more potential downside. The 15-minute I don't use personally. I need more detail within the price action, so I'm going to be going with the 5-minute and the 1-minute. And what I'm seeing on those lower time frames is not correlated with the 15-minute time frame, all right? So the more correlation you have across the board, the better it is. If you see that exact same print on the 1-minute, the 5-minute, and on the 15-minute, you go a triple plus. Like you go Canada credit at that point, and you just hammer it. Love it. You broke that down some serious, my friend. I mean, it's quick, right? We used to get a lot more in depth with those lessons. If you guys really want to know what's going on, Cooling volume price analysis, I told Jag to read that book. I'm pretty sure Gaurav read it. It's an absolute game changer, especially after years and years of trading. You can solely base trades off of that methodology. What are you punching over there, Sheree?
Oh, no, it's
okay,
good,
Joey. You're good? All right.
I got to get ready for something.
So yeah, that's it. I gave you guys a quick crash course on that one. It was really relatively quick. Patrick, you nailed that one. And here's a prime example right here. Here's a prime example that I was saying to Gaurav. Here's a prime example, I'll say it one more time. On Tesla, that's the indecision print. We literally showed you a candle printed like this on that lesson. So bang, look for those things at extreme highs, lows, and VWAP. Okay, perfect. This is exactly it. So out of the open, once you gain more experience, you get more comfortable taking the trades. Gaurav's fantastic at it. We have that exact same print right out of the open. What do we do over here, Sharif? Bang, we go for that long on the 1-minute time frame. I was waiting for that first 5 minutes. Sure enough, as soon as it closed, we look for that move. Bang, bang, bang. We're moving up there. Thank you, Sharif. Talk to us.
I love he's blaming Biden for everything. And now for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the stream. BetaPro by Global X Canada. Canada's largest provider, Joey, of leveraged, inverse, and inverse leverage ETFs has just launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs offering 3 times bull, yes, and 3 times bear exposure for the TSX 60 semiconductors and on U.S. Treasuries as well. And if you want even better, they've got better, Joey. They're offering a special fee rebate, dropping those pesky management fees down to just 65 basis points, all until December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategy uses currency hedging, which offers the potential for pure performance and exposure. So, if you're a tactical, sophisticated trader, Joey, and you're looking to amplify your performance, you need to check out Katina, man. BetaPro.ca/3 times daily to learn more. Shout out to the Katina. How's it swim, brother? You swim outside or inside the, because it's raining. Cats and dogs. It's not raining anymore? Good, good. Fantastic. Joey Options, you know what we're doing?
What are we doing?
We're red on the day, but that's okay. We're doing it live on NCNA right now. There's the breakout trade. We've got 03s on. We've just wet the beak at 35s. We're waiting at 39. Then we're waiting at 48. NCNA, it was very bad to me initially, but it's become a little bit better this time around. Let's see if the trend can kind of continue to the high side over here. Yes, and there it is, Joseph Options. We take out that next beak wetter. Now we're waiting at 48s. It's showing me 36. It's a 5, 6, 7 penny spread most of the time, so you need to account for that. So we'll keep tabs on that. Lastly, though, before we send it back to your boy Joey, TMC dropping back down here. We've got 68s. It's coming down into 78. This ain't the move for me. We're going to take profits. We'll get back in at VWAP. And there it is, dropping lower after we flattened out there. So we'll keep tabs on that. What's going on over there, Katina Man? $10 on Tesla. The Katina Man is he's having a light day today, okay? He's only $10 in the money on Tesla. It's a light day today for him.
It's light.
Right? It's light. I love this guy. It's light. It's light. Fantastic day. Shout out to the Katina, man. Obviously, we're still waiting for the Tesla event to happen. Adara's got us covered. She's scouring all of X World and Tesla Bull Twitter, I'm sure, as well. And as soon as we have anything...
I don't even think they care that much about this event, which is shocking.
No way.
I have not found much, and even like I checked the 2 biggest accounts. So this guy Robert Ong, who does a podcast with the aforementioned Tesla Boomer Mama, they're like the top sources. He was all up on the FSD, and then she was all excited about because I guess they released that FSD update. And then she was super pumped about just getting people to vote for that shareholder meeting on November 6th. Neither of them have posted much at all about this event, except they're just like, oh, the stock's going to be up this week. Yeah, it's really weird. I wasn't really expecting that, Sharif.
I definitely thought they would have said something. I mean, whatever. If they're not excited, I don't know why, Joey. Maybe they're not excited because it's a low-margin product. I don't know. I'm just trying to find reasons.
Derek, can you chime back in here for a quick second for me, please, and thank you?
I don't think she heard you. Adara, can you weasel in if you have a second?
Pardon? Sorry, I have problems.
Yeah, it's all good. Joey has a question for you.
Well, no. I just need you to speak so I can change my Unity, and then now I can actually hear you when you say.
Sorry about that, Adara.
No, you're good now. We're locked and loaded. All right, thank you. That's all I needed.
You know, she got work to do over there.
I know. Hey, man, I didn't. It was a real quick second. I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt too much. No, obviously being slightly sarcastic. What do we do there, Katina, man? Do we take another stab at that Bitcoin long, maybe possibly, or do we just? Yeah, 121 is right. Yeah, what the hell? It's just like that, my friend. And yeah, just like that, my friend. I mean, you go 8 straight days to the top side. You punch through that previous all-time high, and then boom, just like that, you engulf a couple of those days. So boom, boom, boom. See you later to that one. Daddy Longlegs says, side quest investor, did you watch the movie Longlegs? Very, very creepy stuff. But yeah, aside from that, I'm not really looking at anything right now. Guys, full disclosure, I was on the brink of elimination, i.e. shutdown, and now we're just 1 trade away from flipping this day back to green. So
that's great, bro. That's an aggressive day.
Yeah, well, hey man, I was riding. I mean, we were green. See, that's the thing sometimes. It's like, which I'm not, if I'm just sitting at home, this 1 trade is like, boom, done. That's it. But you want a little bit grind. You want to try to take that next step. Sometimes in order to do so, you just got to continuously grind and try to put in some potentially new trades. But I think that this crypto, I'm glad that I didn't take that long. This crypto space is in big time trouble, I think, right now, starting to head back a little bit lower. Bitcoin going to put in a new low of the day. BMNR was a big time fake breakout as well, too. Ethereum, I wouldn't be surprised if it's still bleeding. Yeah, so I might just sell that contract. I'm Bitcoin all the way. I think Ethereum is a little bit more of a tougher trade, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just micromanaging everything, which also isn't a great idea either. So yeah, maybe what we got to do after the show is just sit down at our desk at home, write our notes, and come up with a definitive game plan on what we're going to do with our positions right now, Sharif.
But I don't understand why they let the press just yell over each other like this. Like, why can't there be turns?
No order in the court.
You know what I mean? We just pick out of a hat. You get to go number 1, you 2, 3. They all just yell at each other and over each other. It's just chaos. I love it. So they're talking about the Golden Dome right now. Obviously, President Trump saying Canada wants to be involved in that. He got the call from Prime Minister Carney to that effect. And now they're discussing some of the details about that. They're also talking about, an $8 trillion possible economy between the two countries. So yeah, it's a good meeting so far. There doesn't seem to be any animosity quite yet, but I didn't really expect that. We didn't see that last time. And again, as I've mentioned, Carney doesn't lend himself to, that kind of interaction. He's really not that guy. Okay, I'm getting an alert here on SNGX. That means it's approaching an area high that is of interest to me. So let's go ahead and pull it up on the side chart. SNGX is the ticker I'm talking about. What are we doing? We're breaking out. That's what we're doing, Joey. So that's why we got the alert right there. So let's go and make this live. SNGX is the ticker. Where are we? We're going to halt up here. It looks like we may be halting up at 173. No, that's a false halt right now. So SNGX, guys, is taking out the pre-market high, Joey. I just want to let them know. And this is now going to be a possible breakout trade. We haven't been up here lately. SNGX, traded carefully.
Yes, most definitely traded carefully. Guys, Trade the Pool is back. Beat Aikman live trading competition is here, October 8th to 10th. Every day, Aikman makes his move. Your mission, outperform him, beat his return, prove you got what it takes. Then the grand finale on October 13th, broadcast live on Trader TV with Trade the Pool team live in studio. Over 600,000 in prizes are up for grabs, 25K, 50K, even 100K evaluation accounts, plus surprise giveaways during the live show. Don't watch, compete, beat Aikman, whatever you would like to call him, win big, scan the QR code, and start trading right now. Do it. Do it. All right, so let's see what we got going. Look, pullback 118. Craptober, says Rusty Dutch. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not looking too good for sure. Let's pull up the underlying asset. Man, I hate just looking at it all the time, but I guess we'll do that right now. This is a significantly more aggressive pullback than what I was anticipating. That's not what I wanted. All right, take a breather, Joe. Relax a little bit. Woosah, and there we go. So, I mean, now you're starting to see it displayed a little bit differently. I wasn't seeing anything from a selling standpoint. Once we blew that top off, I guess sellers just were continuously stepping in. This wasn't isolated enough for me to look to take some off. You're at 121.2s right now and continuing to bleed. Could there be a potential bottom? I don't know. This is a pretty weak candle. You've now engulfed the past 4 sessions on Bitcoin in one single one. So you go from a high of around 124.8 to 121. Really tough look there, and that's the volatility of the names, regardless of what it is. If it's now optionable, whatever it may be, the volatility in the crypto space is always going to be there. For what? I don't know. I feel like there's more certainty and clarity behind it, but the street and other investors also, I guess, disagree on that front. I was telling Sharif earlier in the day, I was watching some stuff on Bitcoin last night. There's only 3 exchanges that have more than 150,000 full coins on in their books. So the supply is definitely dwindling, and we were talking about it yesterday. There's already 99% of the holdings right now are unrealized gains, which I found slightly insane. And I don't understand why you pull back essentially 3% after you've gone. Well, I guess that makes sense now. I'm speaking out loud. But after you've gone through that previous high, you tap into 126. You decide immediately, shortly after, to pull back 3%, and that's just the nature of the beast, Sharif.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm just listening still. Yeah, they're talking about trade. President Trump is talking about being treated fairly by countries that he likes. He's talking about the European Union. Do you want to say something, Adira?
I just yelled windmills because he just started talking about windmills too. He's like, if I lost the election, windmills would be everywhere.
He hates windmills, Adira. We know that. They're unsightly, this, that, and the other. No, but anyway, he's talking about trade. He's saying Canada will likely have a good deal, and he's talking about not wanting to hurt anybody that were historically friends, but he's blaming prior stupid presidents, using his words, for striking bad deals, and really that was not the fault of the countries who are now subject to tariffs, but the fault of the prior administrations. Whether you agree with that or not really is immaterial to me. I'm just echoing back what is being spoken about right now. So that's basically happening. President Trump is doing most of the talking, as one would have anticipated. Prime Minister Mark Carney, just sitting there attentively and listening, not much in the way of interactions, at least so far. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We know Adira is covering that live, so if there's anything that, because I have to do this and that, she catches it, she'll come in with breaking news. We got that covered for you guys. So let's talk about a couple of trades. NCNA, still involved in that one. Where is that bad boy? NCNA, we're still long at 03s. It's showing me 2021. Seems to have maybe lost a little bit of steam over here. We're going to keep an eye on that. But I got a new trade. SNGX, we're involved in this one, topping tail right now into 188. Show me 80s. There we go. There's the first print as it pops up into 83. We got 81s. Now it's moving up a little aggressively. 84 is now showing up. Let's see if we can get 85. It's now showing 85. We're not getting the print. It needs to cross. Pack in the patience over here. Seller at 85s. Of note, we can't shake the seller at 85, and down we go into 83. So let's see exactly what we can get here on SNGX up 188 high. Looking to defend, though, into about 170, because that's where the 10 EMA is, and that's where I gauge the breakout level is. I'm talking about SNGX. I'm about 31 1/3% on the day. It's not the biggest mover, but, pickings are slim today in small cap gapper world. So we'll look to do some damage here on this one if it is warranted. So I see topping tails at 173, and then I see the 10 EMA at 170. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on now. Sage, are you the son of Eugene Levy? Why? Because of the eyebrows? Get out of here, bro. No, I like him, though. He is Canadian, so, I have nothing bad to say about Eugene Levy.
Is that the Schitt's Creek guy?
Yeah, the eyebrow guy.
Oh, yeah?
They're yeah, American Pie, of course.
Dad,
He's Jim's dad.
Jim! Yeah.
I love it. Son. Yeah, he's a good guy. I like him.
Not the paw. That took me a second to catch on. That's crazy, baby.
No, don't say that, Joey.
That's crazy.
That's crazy talk right there. No, seriously, though. Tendies Hunter. This market is like me having to change my baby's diaper. Unpredictable. That's funny. I can't, echo that sentiment. I've never had children, so.
Have you ever changed a diaper?
I don't remember changing a diaper, Joey. I may have once, I don't know, in the past. I just don't remember personally doing it.
Yeah.
I can't say I'd be a fan of doing it. You know what I mean?
No, there's no way.
Like, can I say something to you, though?
Yeah.
When I see other people's children, I feel no kind of way about them. I don't really like them. I don't really dislike them. I'm
it's neutral.
completely just neutral.
Yeah.
I hope I like my own kids, though. You know what I mean?
Me too, man. For their benefit.
I'm playing them exactly.
Yeah, obviously you would love.
I think I'd be a.
I mean, you love Betty and Veron, no?
Yeah.
There you go. So there they are. There's your fur babies, right?
Yeah,
there.
but they're not humans, Joey.
Yeah, but they're fur brother.
They're not gonna have opinions and talk back and stuff like that.
That's even better. Hey, I like that even more. Silence is a beauty. For me personally, Milo is just, like, I don't have kids.
The Katina bitch chirping me in the chat,
what
bro.
Say?
He's like, better have kids soon, my guy. He didn't say it, but the implication is, you're getting up there in age, baby.
Hey, man, I mean, you can rock and roll for some time there.
Yes,
I mean, you're good to go.
Oh, no.
No, play that again, please.
What happened?
No, play the ha-ha again. No.
Is that Rizbot?
Oh, my God.
Is that the Rizbot ha-ha?
Ha-ha.
Yeah, the Rizbot.
Brother, you don't even
Rizbot's
understand.
so good.
That's what I do to my friends. Well, Spice Adams used to do that. He'd be like, Good morning. And that's what I say to my friends all the time. And like when we're talking smack, I'll just be like, and then just do that. Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you for that.
All right, Joey, I got to cover this.
Okay, let me talk about IBIT 1 second.
All right,
Are you breaking out?
No, it's actually not. It's good.
All right, let's go. So there we go. We're taking another attempt here on IBIT to see if we can get a bounce. Let's get over to this one, starting to work out 68.90s. We get a 15-cent pop on this one. Again, just only going in with about 25% of our size there.
All right, Bovin was saying COCH is breaking out, but Bovin, brother, I'm gonna have to insist that it get above the pre-market high. I mean, it's got a bunch of downtrends. What I do like about this Bovin on COCH is putting in higher lows, but it's clearly using VWAP here as resistance. Let's see if we can get above and stay above VWAP. You know, it's wicking up there, but it's not exactly rocketing up. So we're gonna keep on the side chart. We're gonna take off AMBI because that's basically done nothing. COCH, we'll keep that one on side chart. But here comes SNGX down a little bit again. I don't mind adding again into this, as I mentioned, into 70. So let's go ahead and throw that on there. We're gonna go ahead and wait to defend that 70 penny area right now. We'll see what we get. We won't get upset. NCNA is the other trade that we've got on. And it's still consolidating. I mean, I still have a few outs on this. Maybe we should wet the beak here a little bit, see what we can get, but still waiting for that $0.5 break. It's a 640 high. It's still holding the prior area of resistance at 6 for now support, and it's above the 10 EMA. So, and it's also putting in higher lows for now, I want to say 3 straight candles. So we'll see what we get on that one. I don't need to be quick in order to take out any on that. See if we can get back above that 50 penny area. So keeping an eye here on SNGX. Yeah, nothing doing here. We got the 75s, but it is not continuing above that 85 penny level. Last time around when we ascended into the mid 80s, there was a seller at 85 that we couldn't shake. So we'll have to see if we can shake him on the next little move there. So we're gonna keep tabs on that. That's all I've got at the moment, Joey. About 10 minutes or so until we start the news. What have you been looking at, my man?
Yeah, good. Because already, geez, it's already 12:30. Man, when you're grinding, like skateboard P. Pathic, I wanted to bring this to your attention. So where is he? Pathic, say hello in the chat for us there, my friend, and then I'll continue. Obviously, there's a slight delay, but this is what we're talking about. Like that worked out. Boom.
What happened, Adara?
There it is. Like, so there's your 15-minute candle. It doesn't break.
Sorry, I was just laughing at Trump saying, well, a lot of leaders have told me this. Mark, you haven't yet, but I'm sure you will. We're the hottest country in the world. Our country was dead a year ago. So that quote is continuing. It's just funny that he literally looks at Mark Carney and is like, well, you'll tell me this too.
Thank you, Adair. Keep us updated.
Yeah, most definitely. Pathic, there he is. So yeah, brother, the higher the time frame, the stronger it may be. That's a fantastic call out on those hammer candles. You have this volume here. It takes a while for these things to turn around. They're not speedboats all the time. Not everything is going to be a V reversal, right? More or less a cruise ship. Takes time for things to turn around. Bang, bang, right there. And then also with the Tesla trade, that hammer candle. Look at the volume, guys. We'll just take a look at these things. This is what we're looking out for. You have that isolated print right here, relatively for the past hour. It's the best indecision, and then sure enough, you get that grind right back into the volume weighted average price. Why am I long Bitcoin once again? The exact same thing. You see them across the board. Like this print is essentially the exact same thing on what we're seeing on 2 different tickers, and that's what Gorov and Los Pollos and Jag have been looking for and been doing an absolute fantastic job. So shout out to them, and shout out to you there, Pathic, because you just been pointing some fantastic things out now. So trimming Tesla a bit at VWAP, you got back in there, says our guy. We're just continuously just grinding up here on this name. Let's take a little bit more off at these highs. Nothing substantial, another 10%. Not heavy enough. I'm putting on these winners, but it's just like a slow grind and just like chipping away. So I need to wait for that A+ setup to where the point where I'm just kind of comfortable and just willing to just go, hey, it's either I'm gonna end up exactly where I started and almost shut down, or we have a fantastic session. So that's just the mentality that I'm in right now, Sharif.
I like hearing that, bro. That's an aggressive mentality. I like it, Joey. Wishing you luck, of course.
Thank you.
All right, TMC, I'm back in this one. This one, the reason I'm back in, the higher low caught my attention. So area low prior to this one over here, right into that 855 area. Previous, now area low 870. So that's a higher low. Now for a move into the higher high, the first area I'm waiting at 92. So we'll see if we can get the print at 92s, and we're waiting at 96s, looking for ultimately that move and take of basically $9, where we have had trouble staying above all day. NCNA, though, I may end my trade on this one. I really shouldn't, because it's compressing both from the lower highs as well as higher lows. So this one could resolve in the direction of the trend. It's just really, it's spready and it's really slow moving. So we're going to keep tabs on that one. I'm still involved also in SNGX, waiting for that 72 ad there. It's still holding above 70, which is where the 10 EMA is. I see support at 73 and 70. So currently showing me 75s. What do we got on right now on SNGX? We got 80s at the moment. So we're about 4 pennies out of the money right now, looking for this one to hold up and to continue to possibly test $2. It is a 188 high. I do like the compression pattern and the breakout from the compression pattern. We'll see if it holds up or not. So that's my look there. Let's go back now to TMC. We get the print there at 92. So there we go. Now we're kind of working our way into some higher high territory. Next print, 96. And then we're going to be waiting right at the whole dollar. We're going to wait at 9 to see if we can get the 9 print there. But ultimately, we're going to have to clear that mid-90s area for me to get comfortable. And the reason I say that is because that's our area crest. We obviously rounded top there, made that higher low, and then here we are testing that same area again. My bias is we take out that area high and we make a newer high. We'll have to see how that all works out. Adair LePage.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, Trump's still talking, and he's indicating that if the shutdown continues, there's going to be a lot of cuts and a lot of layoffs. One thing to be aware of. Also, Business Insider, for what it's worth, reporting that apparently Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang said that Nvidia will continue to sponsor H-1B visas. So Nvidia apparently sponsoring these H-1B visas for its employees. Just an interesting note there for NVDA. Back to you.
I mean, I'm not surprised at all. $100,000. If the person's making $250,000 to $500,000 a year, which a lot of these, you know, NVIDIA engineers that they're going to bring in from out, you know, whatever they're making, Joey, even if it's $100,000, you spread that over 5 years, right? And then it's a reasonable cost for a $4.5 trillion company. For the hyperscalers anyway. Maybe not smaller businesses, obviously, but you know,
businesses.
Like I see this as completely manageable for these Mag 7, even mid-cap companies that can manage this.
When you're spending hundreds of billions of dollars, you're investing $100 billion into OpenAI. I'm sure $100K isn't going to break the bank at this point,
dude,
right? Especially if you want to acquire the talent that you're looking to do.
Exactly. What's up, Adara?
The Trump-Carney thing ended now. They're pushing the press out. It's over, and we don't have to worry about that for now. Back to you.
Dara, for that. Yeah. So I'm going to be super interested to see how the Canadian media covers this, because let's just cut the crap.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is covered very, very negatively in the Canadian media by almost ubiquitously. I mean, very few outlets actually cover him in any sort of positive way. So I'd be really interested to see what the tone of the media is today about this meeting. Because they hesitate to really want to undermine Carney. They're really trying to, you know,
push his agenda.
Exactly. That's the
I mean, I think like we go back to the Stephen Harper days when we were just pumping oil out of the West. I think that's most definitely what we need to get back to. I'm really curious to know some of these some of these real oil-heavy countries, like the Gulf countries, what their GDP is year after year. So I'm going to look into that. Do you know what Qatar and
super easy to find out?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, you got Saudi Arabia that's completely trying to change its modus operandi. They got something called Project 2030 or Vision 2030, where they're trying to diversify away from oil, obviously, and everything else.
But
so give them some
it's
time.
allowed them to do that, right?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, right?
So,
but they also had to have the foresight, because none of the previous government administrations did it. It's this new guy who people don't like because he has a checkered human rights record. And let's just cut the crap. He does, right? Okay. He does. But the fact of the matter is he's switching it into a very, very diversified capitalist state, whether it's authoritarian and whatever or not. That's really not the point. The point is that he's diversifying their economy, and we'll have to see how that all works.
That's really key. All right, Gaurav, I was looking at AMD, indecision print right at the volume weighted average price. We're still piecing some out. How much do I have left? About 30%. a little bit less, 25%, we'll call it, of this IBIT trade. By no means is it going to put me green, but I'm essentially flat on the unrealized side. So we're going to find that next opportunity. There's going to be some ebbs and flows in today's P&L, and you just have to be accepting of that and stay level-headed. But not every day presents these opportunities where you can just grind back. Sometimes you will end up digging yourself a bigger hole and just get shut down again. So that's why precision is key. At the end of the day, I've only traded 3 names, right? So I've traded AMD, Tesla, and IBIT. We'll go over what we were doing right now. So we started off the day not good with IBIT here. We go long. Sorry, I don't want to get this wick in there. So we go long here off of this print on the 5-minute. It doesn't work out. We get stopped out. We try it again with double the amount of size. We get stopped out. We're looking for that move back to VWAP here on that 3rd attempt. So we're still sitting on the plate. We got a full count right here. And sure enough, we were able to get on base, which allowed us to get another opportunity. And then once again, we take another little attempt there. We go double, or actually no, we had 50% of this size here. We take some off, and then now we're only at a quarter, and it's been our best trade. So as for exponential bet sizing, when things are working out and doing really, really well, you want to try to make them as large as we possibly can. And that was not done here on this second attempt, considering you go up from 68.90 all the way up to 25s. That would have been a good one if we were in full size. Then now as for AMD as well too here, folks, this got us this morning, and that's why I was kind of praising Obi. He sat through this chop, was holding to his guns, had those diamond hand, had the Deontay Wilder in there, and essentially got that pop that he was looking for, and then got out right at the break of the volume weighted average price. So great trade management from Obi. We did get a little bit of the short there, and then we got stopped out about 30-40% of our remaining position on that one. And then now as for we already did that one, Tesla. Yeah, so we'll go 2 for 2 on the Tesla trade. Definitely our best trading name on the session. We take that short. You have that volume kick up to the downside, and I was just waiting for this pullback to get involved once again. And sure enough, we had the ability to take it to the take it all the way down to 2020 right there. So nice look there. Katina, man, are you still long Tesla? Or are you short Tesla? He's short. You're short 450. He's gonna get even more short now on Tesla, says Cantina Man. He's probably gonna wait to see how it reacts around VWAP or something, and then take it. Yeah, it's at VWAP. See what's going on at that level. But this is what I was talking about earlier on AMD. Oh. Inverted hammer right there on Gravestone Doji, whatever you like to call it, right at VWAP. You play the break of the 5-minute candle, and sure enough, you get yourself almost $1 just like that. So. Yeah, that's what I got going on. I'm still praising Pathic on his call there on the TQ.
Get it,
to see if we can get back to VWAP. I don't think the crypto space does on today's session, considering how it's tracing PA right here. And then sure enough, you have that just steady downtrend. That hasn't really been snapped yet. I guess it is on the backside of it, but the volume is just falling off Mount Everest, essentially. I'm not going to say a cliff, it's falling off a mountain. So that's just a cover rally, in my opinion. Stock visualizer, anything for you? You got it?
Yeah, of
All
course.
right, let's rock and roll.
Assassino asks.
You have the question thing too? Did you see that one there?
I do, but I haven't used it.
Oh, you haven't used it? All right.
Here it is, guys. TSLA, the #1 ticker as decided by you guys. But I got to tell you, as much as I'm happy to see Tesla up here, I think it's absolutely warranted with this new release. As much as it displeases me to see that the #1 stock as voted by you guys only has 86 votes. We should be having double digits for something like that. So get into the chat, guys. Whatever your play is on the day, if you want to hear about it, throw it up on there. You got Open, you got AppLove, and Palantir is like a perennial appear on there. SMCI. I was telling Joey Options, SMCI has been very, very strong lately. It's up 80% year to date. You got TMQ, of course. Shout out to Canada, another metals company that the White House wants or is looking at taking a stake into. By the way, SoFi up there. AMD should be like fighting with Tesla for #1 right now. We got Spruce, Biosciences, Rigetti, Nvidia, PayPal, GLTO, even this small cap crapper is making its way onto the scene today. No, I say that lovingly, of course, knowing that that's the only thing I trade. So yeah, get your votes in, guys. The more you obviously get your friends and colleagues in the chat to vote your way, the more likely this is going to show up. So shout out to Fabian and shout out to the chat for doing the absolute most in a great way, Joey. All right, so here's the deal. Look, NCNA, it's been holding above the 10 EMA for a hot minute, okay? But now it's losing the 10 EMA, and that is going to end the trade for me on this one, so we can focus on the others. And the others include SGNX. This is make or break time. It is the 70 penny level, which is the breakout level from before. Take a look how many rejections we got there on the bottom chart. That's a 5 minute, the bottom chart. How many rejections we got at 70. So now I'm looking for this area to hold up. That's number one. Number two, it is also the 10 EMA on the 5. So let's see if that area holds up and then weasels its way. Now, if it starts putting in higher highs here, I'm going to get more shares in so we can get a nice little move up. So that's the focus on SNGX. But we also have another trade, Joey, TMC. And that's finally working its way back into the highs. We've been involved in TMC all morning long to the short side and the long side. And here we go again. We're dabbling in front of 9. How many shares do we have on this one? Maybe we can wet the beak in front of 9 over here. What's going on over there, Katina Man? The Katina man is, Joe was asking him about 5 minutes ago what he was doing. He was shorting Tesla. We'll take a gander at what Tesla's doing right now. It's losing 446 and it's on its way down to 445 and 3/4. And it's also at the volume weighted average price. So if you like what the Katina man has been trading today, well, then you should probably be looking at Tesla right now because Katina man is short TSLA. Joey options.
Yes,
what are you
sir.
looking at over there?
All right, call it. Thanks for calling that 5 minute signal on Tesla. It's pure cash. Yeah, it's absolutely pure cash. I mean, so it's good. Sharif, you're going to get sick of me real quick because they gave me the power to this thing here. I'm not going to hit it right now because I don't want to use and abuse it. But there goes AMD. What?
Which one?
This one?
Which one? No, I want Rizbot's laugh. Have you heard Rizbot's laugh?
Yeah.
Have you actually though?
I mean, I've watched a couple of his videos.
If the Chilean Nightmare is free as well, we need to. The people need to hear how Rizbot laughs, man. It's way better than
like
that.
Rizbot? No, man. I love that, man.
Are you kidding me, bro?
That's crazy.
Rizbot.
No, AMD. Look at this one.
He has no Riz,
look
though,
at. I have no Riz.
No, he has no Riz. Why would I say that to you, dog? Why would I say that to you?
I thought you were saying. There you go. Just like quick as you like, Katina man.
He's putting up $2 in the money on Tesla. $1.50 in the money on Tesla. The Katina man is doing it live on that side. Shout out to the Katina man.
AMD was beautiful. I totally forgot that I was in an IBIT trade. I was having too much fun laughing with all of you guys. Market's starting to come back in a little bit. There's Tesla. Way to grab that one there, Katina man. Now, what was I in? IBIT, bang. We're starting to take a little bit more off. 69.40s, a beautiful recovery. This is what we want to see. The buyers start to step in. This is what we want. Tony, perfect. We love hearing it. So yeah, I mean, if you chirp me in the chat now. Yeah, we'll go over those. If you chirp me in the chat now, I'm just going to be like, it sucks to suck. So there it is, and it's all over. No, I'm just joking. All right, guys. We did this one. We did this one on Roosevelt. Ross is still up there. We went over that, and Howard's as well, too. So I don't see anything new on the Super Chats there, Assassino. I don't have that one there. Put it, if you can put it up on there, that'd be great. Rezi, thoughts on SPRB and the level it's holding? Yeah, for sure.
Holding.
SPRB. Embarrassing. 210. Okay, not very liquid there, guys. Sprouts Bioscience. Yeah, as soon as I see bio and then science, it's just automatically
straight to jail.
Like right away, without any trial or anything along those lines. I'm gonna try it one more time here. If it doesn't work, then I might get Sharif to take a look at it. Pull it up. What was it? What was the ticker again there?
SPRB.
SPRB. It went to 350 overnight, Katina man. Okay, let's see if we can get the daily on this one. Bang.
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, so this is a big, wow, what the actual.
What the hell?
The Eliante. Even that.
Yeah.
What is that? 584%.
If you know, you know.
Overnight. Daddy, chill.
No, not when I'm drinking coffee, bro.
Sorry,
that was almost an accident there.
So yeah, I mean, it's a really, really good look. Am I going to be getting involved in this? They're obviously going through some clinical trials and something looking good for them. I shouldn't say obviously, but I'm leaning towards that. But be careful because they can sell off easily just as aggressively. We've seen it in the likes of another name selling off 80% not too long ago, and it's just like you wake up and that happens, not a good time. But if you wake up and this happens, you're having a great time.
You're having a fantastic time,
I would love to take some off. I'd be partying for sure that weekend.
Partying. All right, guys, TMC is going, and it's finally above 9. Here we go. We're showing 5s. The high of the day is 9. So packing the patience over here paid off. There is the high of the day, 909, momentarily dropping back down. Let's see if we can get that break and that continuation. TMC up 17.25%. We're also involved in this one. SNGX, looking at wetting the beak there at 78s. We've been waiting at 78s. We added on that break with the new 5-minute candle to make a new high, but we need continuation, and we're not seeing said continuation. In fact, it's been at 78s for, I think, over a minute, and I didn't get the print, meaning that, yeah, we're going to have to wait a little bit more over here, dropping back down into 77s. But I do like the trend. I'd like to see this above $1.80. I think if we get above $1.80 on SNGX, we could get a nice little move up on maybe test that high of the day, which is currently at $1.88. Let's see if we can kind of get that move. GLTO, I won't trade Bovin because I'm down substantially on it. I just don't have the right read on that, and it's just way too expensive for me to trade my methodology on it. It's going to have to be one where, you know, I have to add little at a time. It's not going to be a breakout trade. So GLTO, I'm going to stay away from. But I don't know, coming closer to 24. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. That $24 level that we were talking about before. Yeah, it's coming back in, but I've just taken way too many bad trades on it, so I'm going to have to let that one go, Bovin. But thanks for pointing it out. There we go. SNGX coming back up now into 78, so we get the print there. We're waiting for more. Let's see if we can clear that 180 area here on SNGX, and we can get a nice little move up. Test those highest days, trying to pack the patience over here. But look at TMC, not TSMC. TMC taking out the day high like it doesn't matter. 917 now the day high. We have 888s on. We're going to end the trade right here. Good look right now on TMC. Let's see if it comes back in now, having cleared 9 decisively and get back into that area at $9. We'll pick it up again if it is warranted to do so. So TMC, not TSMC, wouldn't be $9. And if it was $9, your boy would be buying everything that he could on TSMC at $9. I promise you that. Now, can you imagine? So yeah, where is TMC by the way? Oh yeah, a little bit south of 300, 295. Yeah. By the way, did anybody make a fuss about TSMC clearing the Trilly Club? It was quiet. You know it's 1.1 trillion now?
Is it actually?
It is 1.1 trillion, my guy.
So
I know that it was a trillion before on the Asian markets, but not in North America. It was south.
So how many names do we got in the Trilly Club?
We got a bunch. We got the Mag 7, so there's 7. Then you got Broadcom, that is 8.
Yep.
And then you got TSMC, which is 9. Then you have obviously Aramco, Saudi Aramco.
Saudi Aramco.
It's not publicly traded, of course, but we've got to mention that one. So, yeah, there's the new $1 trillion club. It's still, you know, a select few companies that can make it on there, but they're growing in number, Joey.
They're growing, and I think I think throughout obviously our life we're going to see that continuously. So what would be the next milestone, like that $10 trillion club?
Yeah, I would say probably 5. Maybe you get that Nvidia.
But I think
right?
Well, that's achievable, right?
It's very achievable.
If Nvidia goes to what? I think like 250. It's at 5, isn't it? Wouldn't it be?
Something Joey, right now, lines? As we speak,
maybe even less.
As we speak right now, 4.517.
Oh, okay.
The trillion.
That's
another
half 225.
Half trillion.
Yeah, 225 or something. Yeah. So not much. That's the next one. I would say 10.
Hold on. 10. People are saying Burke is as well. BRKB.
Yeah. Burke B is. Burke B.
Let me have a look. So Burke is BRKB. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Just one second. What's that, Katina Man? Yeah, hold on, Katina Man. We're trying to find out the market cap. 720 is what I'm seeing. 720. That's what my platform is saying, Katina Man. We're gonna go to Adair.
Let me know. You guys know that we do have the 3-year note auction that will be happening in 4 or 5 minutes here. That 3-year note auction. I'll be putting that here for you on the position board, so it'll just flash across the screen, and I'll drop the number in the chat as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Adira. I'm just trying to find Berkshire here because I think I clicked the wrong one. BRK B. 1 second. Berkshire Hathaway, NYSE B. Class. This is Class B. What the hell? There's just so many of them. I don't know. I think I got the wrong one. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that one for now. I just have to focus on the trade. Guys, TMC is still going. It's a 925 high. It's got the juice. I don't know where this one goes. 19 2/3%, maybe 9.5. We'll have to keep an eye out on this one. But TMC, it's been slim pickings today in small cap gapper world, but this one is certainly breaking out here 3 minutes to 1. So if you're into these kind of stocks, keep your eye on TMC, Joey. Not the biggest mover on the day, but putting in a nice little higher high, higher low pattern.
All right then. So yeah, I mean, I would have liked to take that AMD short. I was talking to Gorvin, that one, 213 all the way down to 211s there. Starting to find a little bit of a base. We're still sitting in this IBIT trade. We only have 20% left. So yeah, let's let this ride. If I just close it, then I'm essentially flat on the session. We are on the backside of the trend, which is something positive. Tesla looks like it wants to just continuously grind higher here. So we'll see what we got going on with that. We'll just do some basic TA. So there comes the crypto market heading back down. Yeah. So this here, boom. I mean, maybe we can classify it as that. You break that, now you're on the back side of it. But if it pulls back, there we go.
Yeah, so it is a trilly, Joey.
So why is that displaying otherwise?
I don't think I have the right one on my platform because there's just so many different options.
So
I think I have the wrong one. So
okay,
the man pulled this one up. That's BRKB, 1.081 trillion.
Yeah, so I would hope that our guy there, company would have that type, considering he owns 5% of the old bond market ski there,
insane.
which is insane. Guaptober says T-Pens. Guaptober. All right, man. Are you bearish or are you bullish? I'm curious to know. Hi, Katina, man. What's going on? I've seen you waving.
Spooky, scary.
What is it? It's scary. It's funny. Scary.
Yeah, Adam. 1.08 trillion. Adam, you're right. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't pulling up on my platform for whatever reason.
AMD was definitely a really good short there, right at the volume weighted average price. So, I mean, we're still sitting in this. Is there going to be a reload opportunity? I don't think so today, considering that we couldn't even get to the volume weighted average price on this push up, and the volume is just absolutely falling off Mount Everest right there, Sharif. So that's what I got going on. Precision. Let's see if we can find something.
TMC is going, guys. It's still going. 933 high, barely a red candle. In fact, no red candle since 1225. So we're going on now almost 35 minutes of just pure Greensville on the 5, of course, on the 5-minute chart. So here we are, another high of the day. We're done this trade. We were done at 20s, but it's continuing to go. I don't get back in unless it tests, that $9 area. Reason being because those are the areas of support. So let's see if it comes back into that area of support. Good look today for TMC. I'm keeping an eye, of course, on all the small cap gappers on the day, but they are a lot of them are just dropping off or lack volume or just not doing a whole lot. NXXT, people are talking about. Let's load that bad boy up. Not a bad look on NXXT at the moment. I think I did have this one up. I did. Yeah, I do. I had this one up, but we took it off because, well, it was losing trend, but it's since reawakened. And in addition to that reawakening, it's now at the high of the day, 272. Let's see if this one holds a 10 EMA. Has it held it in the past? Yes. When it rides trend, it holds the 10 EMA quite well. But when it turns off, the extension off the 10 EMA tends not to hold it. So I need to be alive to that as well. It's up 28.5%, Joey.
All right, guys. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Oragenics, OGen, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug design for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment marketplace projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting. Today. Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, oh my days, he's got He's like a world citizen.
Is like day in in Spanish.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I see today.
Oh, I thought you were talking Australian.
No,
there,
like
like,
oi.
oi.
No, like oi. No. I'm not
Oh,
that,
man.
Have you ever been to Australia?
I have never, Joey.
wanna go
I've never,
there,
and I've got distant, like,
Yeah, family over there?
You know when you call like close family friends like family? Basically that. Grew up with my old man.
Yeah, I was gonna
back
say,
in
like,
the
your
old
parents'
country.
friends
So
and
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Old man immigrated to Canada. The other dude immigrated to Australia.
Aussie land. Yeah, I want to go over there. I heard Gold Coast. I want to go to Goldie, man.
And the thing is, too, it's nice. It's a flip the switch. Like you have, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
you go there in the winter.
It's summer over
exactly,
there.
Right? It's a perfect setup.
The thing is, though, for me, is just like the sharks, man. The salt water.
Yeah, it is. It is becoming a problem.
Yeah.
But so it is. It's the same thing as well in Florida. Bull sharks.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, our boy Mike Peter Ryder, man. He's all about the Outer Banks. You know, I watched the show Outer Banks, and Mike Peter Ryder is. It's like I feel like he's just one of those surfer dudes. You know what I mean?
Mike.
Yeah. We
don't be afraid of the sharks.
Is that what he said? Is that what he said? Yeah. So, Mike, have you ever encountered one? Like, what do you guys got rocking and rolling over there, shark-wise? Because you're saying saltwater, and for me, that's a big-time red flag. So we don't really like that one too much, considering. But yeah, back into these markets. Fig putting in that 5-minute signal, but there was no. There's no volume supporting it. A nice rebound. It was primary on my list today, considering off of yesterday's session was really a big time move, and I was looking to participate on that front, but I never got the opportunity. Mike Peter Ryder says bull sharks, aren't they extremely aggressive? Adara, what do you got for us?
And I have here the results of the 3-year note auction. So high yield here is 3.576. That's the 3-year note auction high yield, 3.576 versus 3.584% before the auction. So again, 3.576% was the high yield for the 3-year note auction. Prior to the auction, high yield was at 3.584%. So again, 3.576, 3.584. The numbers are really close, but you get what I'm trying to say here. Back to you.
SLDP breaking out. Shout out to, want to call this guy out. I don't know how to say his name. Sauls. I think there's the letter before that, but Sauls. Shout out to him. Great call out there on SLDP. Look at this breakout. And this is a former runner from yesterday because we've got the ticker up there. And look at that move from the area lows on the bottom to the area highs. We're up 45%. Another nice move up today. We're up. What are we up? About 10% and change right now. 10 and a fifth right now on SLDP. Yes, taking out that implied balance high right around 620, 637 high a day on SLDP. Traded carefully, but it is a multi-day runner, and it was running as well on Friday. Look at that. It didn't. The price action looks a little bit muted because we had a big day yesterday, but this is a 3-day runner now. More if you're looking at higher lows and higher highs. It's been running for several days. The month of October has been fantastic for SLDP. Since the start of the month, we're up 82 or 88% and change. So good look there. I'm going to keep it up on the side chart. SLDP is the ticker. We'll keep tabs on that one. But I want to let you know TMC continuing to go here, guys, right into that area high, 937, putting in higher lows on each successive candle, now over 20%, but 20.79. Any final thoughts, Joey, before we start the news? We're a little bit late today.
No. I'm good. I'm sitting in this trade. I'm going to probably hop out all out of this IBIT here momentarily. Missed that AMD trade, so we're just going to be patient and continuously look for some new opportunities.
All right. Before I start, I want to let you know, guys, that what we use to do the news is my morning note every day. And the way to get that morning note is to weasel on over to YouTube. And we're going to do it live right now, so I can show you exactly how to do it. I got to switch to my account. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it live. So the way to go is you click right below our video. Right, that join button right there. You click join. This handsome gentleman named Brendan Wickens, comes up. You hit that join. It's about $6.99 a month or something around that. So hit that join button. And then if you're subscribed and you're already good to go, well, here's how to get the morning note every single morning. It comes around the same time as Adara's watch list. You go to our homepage at Trader TV, and then you click posts right there. You click that bad boy, scroll down, and then you're going to see the one that says members only right there, 4 hours ago, posted in the morning. Click reveal more, and there it is. It is $4.99 a month, confirms Brendo. Thank you for that. And then you click more, and there it is. You click that bad boy right there, and it pops up. And I just want to let you guys know something. This is just the first product that's going to be part of the subscription. There is much more coming. There will be much more value to this in the future. We're not just doing the revamp over here, baby. We're doing a lot more in terms of content as well. Things that can help you on a daily, swing trading, investing, day trading. We're going to have it all. So this is just the beginning. I really wanted to mention that. Shout out to everybody who's subbed so far. Joey, you ready to do the news?
I am.
All right. Adara, you good to go?
I'll be grinding here, but I'll most definitely be participating.
Absolutely, Joey. Let's talk about this Tesla possible unveiling. So Tesla expected to unveil, yes, a lower cost version of the Model Y SUV. It's expected today. Well, we have no confirmation quite yet. We're still waiting like everybody else. The new model will be, according to reports, of course, be based on the existing production platform. It's not an all-new $25,000 EV that Elon Musk previously scrapped. Tesla teased the reveal with 2 short clips posted on X over the weekend. And with no live event confirmed, we're going to be looking for information to trickle out about the price, the range, and the production timeline for this new EV. We don't have any of that information quite yet. Elon had previously said the affordable model would be priced below $30,000. That did include the $7,500 EV tax credit, which is no longer in play. And it was also before, this huge inflationary push. So we'll have to see where the actual price lands. Tesla's effective prices have risen sharply subsequent to September 30th, which is when the cancellation of the EV tax credit took effect. So a sub $30,000 Model Y or Model Y variant could certainly open up a new buyer segment. We'll have to wait and see. And Elon did initially project production by June of this year, but Tesla later clarified that it had only achieved first builds as of July, with availability expected before the year end. That's as much information as we have. And Joey, analysts view this kind of affordable variant as a bridge product, so to speak, right? Maintaining the momentum until Tesla can kind of deliver that next gen, maybe, that autonomous robo-taxi, full FSD, whatever higher margin product, kind of just as a stopgap.
Yeah, I think there's a couple ways that we can look at this here. It's great that he's bringing in a different model here, a cheaper one, but obviously we talk about the margins. But what that also tells me, Sharif, is that we're supposed to have the Model 2 in mass production in the latter half of the year. There's only a couple months left. So what does that say? He's not prioritizing it. For whatever reason, whether it be lower margins, is he focusing more on the robo-taxi, expanding his geofence, whatever it may be. But I don't think this is exactly what investors were looking for. Is it a bad thing? I don't think so. Considering, right, like you get more individuals, who knows, maybe you get a little bit more sales in that, but you're not going to be making as much. So that's where I stand. I can tell already that we know that he's, well, it's not that I can tell, we know that he's optimistic with his timelines, but he also, sometimes he doesn't live up to his word, whether it be the Roadster, the Model 2, and all these other things. He prioritized what he feels obviously is right, and rightfully so. He brought Tesla to where it is today, but I think more investors are looking for that Model 2 and then expanding his geofence and getting autonomy at full speed ahead as much as he possibly can to try to catch up with Waymo in certain districts. And he's not there just yet, but only give him some time, and I'm sure he'll be able to do so.
All right, Adara, this is an interesting little development that we know very little about other than, a couple of videos. Are you surprised that, it's going to be a Model Y variant as opposed to an entirely new car?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think a lot of people seem to be kind of underwhelmed as the vibe I'm getting because it's a car we already have. But unlike the it's the Model YL, right, in China. That seems like people really like that. Yep. Now it's like you're getting a Model Y with things taken out of it to make it cheaper. Like, I don't know. It almost kind of seems like, well, you can't afford a Tesla, so we'll give you this version of a Tesla. Like, I don't know. Honestly, it's kind of condescending, the whole vibe of it. But we'll have to wait and see. And I also, Sharif, Joe, everybody, What were those propellers about? have questions.
I don't know, man. Joby, Archer, we're all moving on that Adara.
Why are you putting propellers in your video? What is this going to be like a Model Y with like a spinning top? I highly doubt it. So
can you imagine if you put like spinning rims on that bad boy?
Pardon?
Like, can you imagine if you put spinning rims like it's like the early 2000s again?
I can imagine a lot because we haven't seen the car yet. So, I mean, I can imagine whatever I want. But in all seriousness, I do want to mention someone in the chat told me that apparently a lot of those Tesla influencers, like the ones I was mentioning earlier, got a private sneak peek of the new vehicle, but they're not allowed to talk about it. That's why we're not seeing a lot of them talk about it. I was unable to confirm this, but for what it's worth, that could be a factor here too. I'm still looking into it. If I see anything else about this, I'll let you know. But yeah, I think given that this is like, just a Model Y Lite rather than a Model Y Redux, I don't expect anything crazy.
Yep. So, I mean, I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a kind of a cheaper Model Y, when you've been in the Model Y, you see how basic it is. But he's got some stuff in there. He's got some vegan leather, which probably costs a little bit of
I don't think I've ever
buck
been
or two.
in a Model Y.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. Very, very like minimalist. The screen. I'm just trying to think of the things that he can cheap out on. Like he's got double pane glass, which he could probably drop to a single. There's things that he can cut out of that, but it's already a basic product, Joey.
Yeah.
I mean, you can probably make the battery a bit smaller, drop the range, because half the cost of the car is the battery.
Well,
that's
what most likely is going to happen, Sharif, is you're going to see a range reduction on that vehicle. It's not.
So I'm assuming, it has to be, Joey. I mean, like, I can't imagine that being more range. All right, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait, guys. Obviously, there is a market for this. The price obviously is kind of a barrier to entry for a lot of people for these EVs. Even if they want to get an EV, sometimes they're just super expensive. And now without the $7,500 EV tax credit, it's a little bit even more out of reach. So a cheaper variant certainly could have a market. We'll have to wait and see exactly what it is and how much demand there is for it. Let's go on to the story that everyone's been talking about lately. AMD up nicely, another 3% today after landing a big boy deal with the OpenAI. Analysts are calling it a turning point in the AI arms race. Let's see why they're calling it that. So analysts describe this as a breakthrough moment that could reshape the AI chip landscape. Big words. We'll have to see if they pan out. OpenAI will now have access to up to 6 exaflops of AMD's Instinct GPUs. We're talking about the MI450, of course, if you're looking specifically, which by definition means it will be late next year because the MI450 not even available yet. Analysts said the agreement propels AMD directly into the core of the AI ecosystem, historically, of course, dominated by Nvidia. Wed Bush, everybody's favorite analyst, he's my favorite analyst. Danny Ives called the partnership a validation moment for all of AI, and he believes that this is just a start for AMD, predicting the company will gain meaningfully, use his words, meaningful market share in the AI infrastructure spending through 2026. But we've got more details about the nature of the deal. We had very little yesterday. New research coming out. Pierre Ferragu or whatever reported that OpenAI is receiving roughly 40% off, Joey. That's what happens when you buy in bulk. They're receiving 40% off the sticker price for the MI450 compared to, of course, to the standard market rates. He says that makes OpenAI's build out sustainable long term because they're getting a discount. But with AMD, margins being pressured as a result of giving a 40% discount, he says, don't worry, they're going to make it up in volume. What they're going to cut in margin, they're going to make up in volume, his words. The discount reportedly covers both the chip pricing as well as the infrastructure costs. So that's going to be, networking, software, the GPUs themselves. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how much everything is going to cost. But we know from this deal, the initiative is valued at $1.5 trillion, includes, of course, AI chips, networking equipment, data center facilities, power infrastructure, much of which will utilize AMD's hardware. And analysts, Joey, call this one of the largest capital expenditure cycles ever in technology.
Yeah, I mean,
make of that.
Well, Sharif, we were talking about this not too long ago. Like, this is going to add to the American GDP. That's how much money these hyperscalers are spending. But it's funny to think that when this AI boom first started, a lot of individuals, including myself, thought it was going to be NVDA 1 and AMD number 2. but AMD had those couple of years where it just wasn't participating in the rally, and then now you're starting to really see it recover with vigor. And I mean, it's been an absolute phenomenal run that AMD is on. I just found it comical at first when we were first talking about this, is that, okay, yeah, OpenAI taking a stake into AMD, and it's just like, okay, so yeah, NVDA pays OpenAI or invests into OpenAI, then OpenAI takes that money and then buys its competitor, essentially. But they're allowed to do whatever they want with that. So it's not a bad look, but as Sharif, I forget that there's a specific term that I'm looking for here. It's just the rotation of money and
circularity.
Yeah, exactly. The circularity. Yeah, say it there, Dara. What is it?
Circular revenue. Circularity.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's essentially what's going on here. So it's intriguing. Is that bubble-esque a little bit? But I don't think it has all the characteristics for it. These guys are printing the cash. They have the cash. They have a lot of cash, I should say. So it's not too bad of a look. I like what AMD is doing. I'm glad that they have the ability to kind of take over that second place spot that much investors and traders were anticipating to do so. Now this is their opportunity, and they're teaming up with probably the biggest name, and that's going to be OpenAI.
Okay, Dara, so a couple of things. Do you think that this maybe changes the dynamic of, Nvidia being that company that can charge 79, 81% gross margins? Does that affect their margin game? And do you think that this kind of creates a tailwind for AMD in other respects as well? Like, this is a good look.
Yeah, I mean, I think with regards to margins, you guys know how I feel about that. I don't want to speculate on how things are going to be impacting earnings going forward. You know what I mean? I am not an analyst myself, though I will, look to their guidance, and I'll leave it at that. But with regards to this being a tailwind for other aspects of AMD, Sharif, I want to transition to another really bullish analyst note we got on AMD this morning after the deal. Jefferies almost doubling their price target of the stock from 170 all the way to 300. And they were really bullish here with AMD, and they said they actually rarely upgrade stocks on events like this, but they said, hey, they really like this deal because they see it validating continued spending for AI, not just for AMD, though, of course, for AMD, but also for AI in general. It shows that, hey, this CapEx spending for AI is not going anywhere. So they're incredibly bullish here. Jefferies, a lot of analysts raised their price targets, but that Jefferies note, I think, made it pretty clear that at the very least, you've got a couple analysts here saying this is a great look for the space. It's a great look for the stock. And then also, too, Jefferies actually had some other positive things about AMD beyond the deal that I think probably worth going over here. They lifted the company's 2026 and 2027 EPS forecasts. They're now valuing it at 32 times 2027 earnings when you factor in these new forecasts. Yeah, interesting look here, though. They also said apparently server checks show those are going better than expected. So they really see a lot of areas here for AMD growth. This OpenAI, I guess, avenue is exactly that, just one avenue of revenue growth. And I honestly think for any company, but especially here for AMD with this news, that's probably the best case scenario. You don't want all of your growth coming from this one deal, right? So the fact that analysts are seeing other opportunities, I think that's a good sign. We'll have to see how it goes.
Sounds good, Adair. Yeah, I want to comment what Boyle Hot Dog said there in chat. Great comment from him. Real competition seems to be between AMD and AVGO for number 2. When one has very bullish momentum, the other starts sliding. So I don't disagree with you, but I want to say one thing, that I feel maybe their mode is a little bit different. Broadcom's kind of made their bones by creating custom silicon for these hyperscalers and others as well, whereas AMD's coming with that finished product. They're like, hey, we've got this MI450, how do you like it? What I like about the deal with Altman possibly taking a stake, OpenAI, of course, not Altman, taking a stake in AMD, of course, if these warrants vest, is that having up to a 10% stake, assuming no dilution happens between now and then, he can influence how the MI or the next series of AMD Ryzen chips actually get built out, so that he can kind of customize them, acclimate them to, running data centers in the most efficient way. I'm sure he's got a lot of experience with that now. Whereas, if he goes to Broadcom, he's going to have to create the entire thing internally and then go to Broadcom and be like, hey, make this for me. Here's a custom silicon design. Can you do it? So I completely agree with you that they are in the same space, but not exactly the same moat. But great comment by Boiled Hot Dogs. Anything to add?
No, that's it. I like what Dangerous was saying. So the new tax evasion is CapEx essentially. So just continuously spend, and then sure enough, you don't have to pay as much tax apparently.
I like that. Joey, who wants to pay as much tax, my guy? All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, here, AppLovin. Oh no. Let's see where APP is right now. Show yourself, APP. It's up 7%. It was definitely
up 7%.
Yeah, bro.
Today?
It tanked yesterday. It's not quite back to 670, but it's up on the day. So here's what happened yesterday that caused this whole thing to happen. So AppLovin shares tumbled 14% yesterday after Bloomberg reported the SEC is investigating the company's data collection and ad targeting practices. The probe, Joey, stems from a whistleblower complaint and multiple short seller reports alleging AppLovin may have violated agreements tied to targeted advertising as well as user data usage. The SEC has not accused the company or its executives of any wrongdoing, and their investigation is ongoing. AppLovin said, "We don't comment on the existence or non-existence of regulatory matters," which, means that, things not going out that well right there. The company has faced scrutiny from both regulators as well as market critics, given its aggressive ad targeting technology, which is, of course, powered by AI. Specifically, it's the Axon ad engine, which is central to AppLovin's revenue growth. That's been a major success driver for them, but it's also the focus of the short seller allegations, which claim that it violates App Store data policies. The reports accuse, of course, AppLovin of improperly extracting user IDs from major platforms like Meta, Snap, TikTok, Reddit, Google, and then funneling those user IDs, Joey, into unauthorized ad targeting systems. There are three notable short seller reports on AppLovin: Muddy Waters, Fuzzy Panda, and Culper Research. Muddy Waters said that AppLovin systemically violates App Store terms of service, leading to unauthorized user tracking. Fuzzy Panda and Culper both earlier targeted the company's Axon software. They warned it exposes or could expose AppLovin to legal and reputational risk. Joey, this thing was up 80% year to date before the news, and it surged 700% in 2024.
Yeah,
what do you make of this?
That's crazy. I mean, I don't overly know too much about the company, but when you talk about investors and everybody getting involved and people getting scared out of the market, this is what does it, right? Like, and we talk about that one biotech, you wake up and it's down 80%. Right? So you get this open up, you drop 20%, and it's like, okay, well, you just engulfed the whole months of trading. People get frustrated with that stuff and don't have the patience. But I mean, when you have those really aggressive drops and those sell-offs, sure enough, it's enough liquidity absorbed. It's phased out the weak hands, and then you climb and you put in a new all-time high. But it's just all the smaller individuals, all the retail folk who are just like, hey, I can't sit through this. I've been buying up here. I'm now $50 out of the money. It's selling 30% on the session. What do I do? Well, they tend to panic sell, including myself at times. So that's what I think, in my opinion, moves like this, Sharif, is what sway a lot of individual smaller retail guys out of the market.
I couldn't agree more with that, because you wake up and you're like, I'm not in it for this.
Right, right. This is my hard-earned money. Like, what is going on with this? It's just the experience thing that people don't go through the ebbs and flows of the market. And when you go through a move like that, it's just like, what am I doing this for? Right? At the end of the day, and it's the same thing with this. Like, it's like, bang, this isn't as bad, right? But it's just like, okay, that sucks. My hard-earned money, it's supposed to appreciate. I don't want to lose 30% of the value of my portfolio in a one candle day. And a lot of people
agree.
Start informed with that.
All right, Adair, what do you make of this? It's nothing that we hadn't heard in the past. These short seller reports have been out for a while. The SEC finally taking action now.
Yeah, reportedly, right? That's always what we have to mention is, but yeah, I think AppLovin's response, I like that you mentioned that. I kind of found it hilarious as well. Like, we don't comment on the existence or non-existence. I'm like, what? Like, it's like Schrodinger's cat over here. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, I do want to talk about this. I have this infographic here on X at TTV Research. I reposted this yesterday. I haven't even updated this since like March. And as you can see, we had like three, and I always talk about this, within 1 week, we had like 3 short reports back to back. Now this big old weird gap down here, day here, February 26, 2025, gap, love, and halted intraday, and I've just never seen a stock that expensive do that, so I always like to flag this. Why I say this is because I agree with what Joe had to say there with regards to, you know, the overnight risk. But with app, you have the intraday risk, too. This thing is a crazy volatile, so, you know, always be careful. I mean, honestly, yeah, as you could have alluded to, Sharif, this is not a shock. We kind of saw this coming. Michael Noss, when I asked him about this on the market recap yesterday, compared this, and I think quite aptly, to SMCI's rise. Because with SMCI, you had, you know, the index ads, the massive push into, you know, a quadruple-digit stock. Then we had the short reports. Then we had the reports that you were actually going to get a governmental agency involved in investigating it. In this case, of course, the SEC, right? So I think keep that in mind. Just I think the very SMCI-like nature of this story. Hopefully, they don't end up, you know, with the crazy fall from grace that SMCI had being added to and then deleted from the Nasdaq in a 6-month period. But either way, good food for thought there with regards to just how quickly things can turn in these markets.
Sounds good. All right, Trilogy Metals. Yeah, TMQ soars was up 234% after the U.S. takes a 10% stake in the Alaska mining project. So Trilogy Metals, it's a Canadian company. Big time move in the pre-market, continued a little bit after the bell. After the White House announced it will take a 10% stake in the Canadian-based miner. The deal is going to include about $35.6 million of U.S. government investment, aimed at developing the Ambler Mining District in Alaska. It is home to one of the world's richest copper and polymetallic deposits. The move marks President Trump's renewed effort to secure more domestic critical mineral supply chain. We know that. He already took a stake into Lithium Americas, which is like another Canadian company, so I just have to get out of a trade. So let's talk about this Ambler Road project over here. It's a proposed 211-mile industrial route through Alaska's wilderness, and it was recently approved by the Trump administration after being previously blocked on environmental grounds by the Biden administration. The company highlighted that the Ambler Mining District hosts high-grade copper, cobalt, zinc, and lead, all essential, of course, to the energy grids, defense technologies, and manufacturing. And just to give you an idea why President Trump and the current administration is so gung-ho about getting critical minerals to market in the States, both from extraction and refining. Look at this data point, Joey.
Yeah.
China controls roughly 70% of rare earth mining and nearly 90% of the refining capacity, giving it obviously a disproportionate influence over the global supply chain. Joey, we saw this in the early negotiations between the United States and China on the new trade disputes. One of the things that the Chinese held back before they struck a deal with the Americans was critical minerals. They put the kibosh on that to any American companies for a moment.
But I mean, like, so how do you look at this from our perspective, Sharif? Do you think this is the start of Mr. Carney himself opening up the gates to foreign investment into the names like into like America and other countries to come and start extracting our resources, getting that investment so we can kind of really expand the ring of fire and start exporting all of these precious metals?
Yes, I don't think it's just strictly foreign. I think there'll be a lot of Canadian companies involved. And the thing is, Joey, to add to your point, he didn't include the Ring of Fire, which is an area in Ontario where there's a lot of metals. He didn't include it in the first tranche. He said that that was going to be part of the second tranche, which he's going to announce around Grey Cup time. So we're waiting.
Around Grey Cup time.
Yeah, that's what he said. His words.
All right. That there you go. There's a pivot. Yeah, exactly. Grey Cup time for all our fellow Americans. Beware, mark that down because it's bigger than the Super Bowl. I can tell you that for free. No, but in all seriousness, guys, 220% on the session. Some fantastic stuff there in TMQ. I mean, if you look at the inverse of things, right? It's like, okay, you're short that, your account is officially blown up. You are no longer trading, I can tell you that, especially when you go up 220%. But yeah, not too bad of a look there. Big time gap out, watch for it to be filled.
All right, Adair, what do you make of this whole thing? Really interesting look. The company trades on the Amex, so I didn't even know about it until today. What do you make of this whole thing? Yeah,
this isn't one that I'd heard of either. Like, I think with LAC, we were all kind of a bit more familiar. At the very least, we'd heard of it. Yeah, I think we're going to keep getting deals, honestly, guys. You know, we had the LAC deal, and I like that at least we now kind of have a mental structure for how these deals are going to go. It's usually been roughly 10%. stakes. Though again, with the LAC, they split that into 5% stake in LAC proper, 5% stake in the Thacker Pass project. I think it makes sense, to try to encourage these and foster these American projects. It is interesting, though, that these last two companies have actually been Canadian companies. So then I wonder further, Carney and Trump are talking today. Do we get more investments in Canadian companies that are working in manufacturing and building or having projects in America? Because that is an interesting avenue that I honestly do not think is a bad one to explore. But I am neither Carney nor Trump, so I have no idea if they're going to talk about that. But either way, I think, with these last two deals being with Canadian companies, I kind of wonder what's next. Now, in case people are wondering, what is the next company going to be beyond my speculation? It's not going to be CRML, according to some reports. We already know that. They dropped yesterday. They're not going to get that investment. But that does leave a lot of other options up for grabs. You already have MP, LAC, and now TMQ?
TMQ, yeah, on the MX, of course. Yeah. Thank you, Adair. All right, let's go on to the next story over here. Bitcoin ETFs. Oh no, Joey. Inflows hit a record just shy of 6 billion, 5.95 billion as BTC surges to new all-time highs. Let's talk about this. Of course, this is dated information. We're talking about inflows that have already happened, but it does behoove us to know this. So global exchange traded funds, ETFs, of course, tied to crypto assets, saw record inflows of, $5.95 billion. That is last week, marking the strongest demand ever recorded for digital asset products. According to CoinShares data, inflows were led by the United States, of course, to the tune of 5 billion, followed by Switzerland, 563 million. Germany tapped in at 312, all setting new national records, whatever the quantum was. Bitcoin dominated the inflows among digital assets, of course, Joey, with 3.55 billion of that 5.95 going to Bitcoin. ETH saw about 1.48. Altcoins also saw participation with Solana, about $706.5 million. XRP seeing about a little bit less than 220 million, contributing, of course, to the surge. Analysts noted strong correlation between ETF flows and BTC's price action, which is suggesting here, or suggestive of heavy institutional accumulation rather than retail speculation. I'm not saying retail is not important, but definitely if you're involved, you want to see the institutions take a position because they got the money, right? Deutsche Bank, Joey, for their part, they expect Bitcoin to appear on central bank balance sheets by 2030 alongside, of course, gold, signaling a paradigm shift in monetary reserves. Joey, we've been talking about this a lot with the weakness of the US dollar as well as the trade war starting to manifest. Central banks from other countries have chosen to hold less U.S. currency on their balance sheet in exchange for gold, and we've seen what gold has done as a result, knocking the door of 4,000.
I don't know. I think you guys know where I stand in this Bitcoin. So as for the inflow, Sharif, that was short-lived, right? Because you're down 2.6% today, and then also you're almost down 5% in Ethereum. So bang, there you go. Hopefully no one's too leveraged on that one. Obviously being sarcastic, but in all seriousness, there, Sharif, the inflows are fantastic. We're starting to see more adoption with the institutions. Jamie Dimon, your good friend Jeremy, this guy was like, yeah, this stuff is garbage. Why would anybody ever want?
He certainly changed his tune.
Now he's starting to change his tune. Why? Because the money is there. At the end of the day, that is all that matters. Listen, we're trading this thing from an intraday standpoint. I get that. But you're better off. If you're not micromanaging it, own it, don't trade it. We're going to put it in the likes of Apple and NVDA. Our good friend Jim Cramer, Patina Man knows what I'm talking about. Own it. Don't necessarily trade it all of the time. The inflows are fantastic. And I think some people are, like, for me, to get my head around, I think the scalability of Bitcoin and why it's classified as digital gold is amazing, in my opinion, right? Like, think about how much it costs to transfer $1 billion worth of physical gold. How much does it cost you to transfer $1 billion in Bitcoin? $5.
Nothing.
It costs you nothing, so the scalability is there. Now you just need the adoption of it. I was telling Sharif this morning, there's only 3 exchanges that have more than 150 full coins on their books. That's it, 3 of them, 150,000 coins, sorry, I should say.
Crazy.
It's really starting the supply is really starting to dry up. If Jamie and company starts putting it on their balance sheet, you see more of these treasuries start to come into play. Watch out, because this stuff can go insane. It's obviously volatile. We know that. We're not gonna disinfuse it. We're not gonna disregard that. But in the long run, if we're going on the path that we're currently trading on, this name can go to levels that we would never, ever have guessed. And there goes. I try another long here on Bitcoin. It's not going to work. I'm going to take a hefty hit on this as we crack through those lows because I decided to go heavy for a potential bounce, but it doesn't want to do that. The move is to the short side, so that's the way I'm going to stick. No more longs on Bitcoin. We got all out of this one there, Sharif.
All right, Joey, new traders, listen up. The first month, it is absolutely free. That's right. We're waiving all the fees for you, so you can trade smarter, not harder, all by upgrading to that elite experience where you'll analyze, strategize, and then hopefully after that you'll capitalize on their platform that has everything, Katina, man. It's got infinite data, instant trading, and lightning fast market insights and game-changing charts. You can also predict better with their backtesting tool. It's got reliable real-time data, global markets, guys, at the tips of your fingers. It's an all-in-one platform. Do not miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading. Scan that QR code or click the link in the description. All right, Adara, record ETF inflows. It's not just for Bitcoin, not just for ETH. The altcoins got love as well.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think, and again, I want to shout out once again Michael Moss yesterday in the market recap talking about how these altcoins, even he was saying, Fartcoin was coming to that 420 level, right? And I'm not joking. So there is, I think right now, a lot of exuberance and excitement. And I said this earlier too when I did the crypto segment. I know I am often considered bearish, what have you. I think I'm just more cautious or agnostic. That being said, I also think that even with this pullback, it makes sense we'd have a bit of a pullback in crypto or in Coinbase or in MicroStrategy. This is not advice, but when you have a massive push up like this, when you make consecutive highs, like two straight days, Sunday and Monday, kind of makes sense. Traders want to breathe. You want to take some profit. You want to step out for a bit. So honestly, this pullback is probably nothing to worry about. And even that being said, there were some names this morning that were really strong too in that adjacent crypto space. MYRN, for example, one that I know some people in our chat love, and Eric Jackson of Open Door fame also loves. MYRN was really strong this morning with the catalyst, right? They've obviously given back some of that move. But the point I'm trying to make is, I think this crypto space, whether you're playing altcoins, whether you're paying related equities, or if you're just playing Bitcoin and Ethereum themselves, I think there's lots of opportunities. And as you guys mentioned with those inflows, I don't think this excitement's going anywhere anytime soon.
And to be fair, Adair, I mean, we've seen Bitcoin do this before. It gets aggressive, it breaks all-time highs, and then it downward channels, finds a base, breaks out again, downward channel. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So, I wouldn't be so quick to, say, hey, the top is in. So, is this a good time? Do you wait for the same kind of retracement area, Dara, that we saw at 110,000, that we saw at 100,000, or is just, what's your move here if you were to get in? What's your methodology?
I mean, I think be patient, wait to see a level set up, and honestly, maybe even zoom out at a different time frame. I remember yesterday, I had up for you guys on the crypto segment the hourly chart on Bitcoin, and we talk about that 108,000 level, but you cannot see the 108,000 hold, I think, on any other time frame with that same ferocity as the hourly. It's
interesting.
At that level, right? I think really always zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out, as a lot of people say here. And I think honestly, with crypto, especially with something that is so volatile, if you do see any kind of basing out in a wider time frame beyond a daily, because the daily, that's a lot of data, right? Just see how it's doing, each hour, especially because it trades 24 hours. You're going to have a lot more hourly candles. That would be my take on that, or how I would at least approach it.
All right, sounds good, Adair. Thank you. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, you were asking Adair, what would you want to see to get involved with it and all those things, right? You know what? I think there's two ways that we can look at this, right? So Ethereum down almost 4%. There's two ways that you can do it. You can face fear head on and get involved 4%, or you can run away. So for me personally, what am I going to do when I see assets like you have the BitMine immersions, Tom Lee just pumping Ethereum, and all these other guys pumping these cryptos. So when I see something down 4%, as difficult as it may be, is when I want to face it head on, face first, and grab a little bit more. It sucks, though. The volatility absolutely sucks. Like, who wants to wake up? It's like, okay, you have Bitcoin down 3 1/4. You have ETHA down almost 5%. Like, that is volatility. And like, we've seen obviously deeper pullbacks, but for me, I think with what's going on, we have the Clarity Act, the Genius Act, and all these, like, the financial system potentially being structured over onto the blockchain. You almost want to phase it out, like some things with the mega caps, when it's like, okay, yeah, they're CapEx heavy, they have the antitrust going on. What is the bigger picture in some of these names?
Absolutely.
And I think that's the case.
I couldn't agree more.
Space.
I couldn't agree more. But it's the hardest thing to do.
It's so difficult.
Unless you're getting that bottom wick, you're going to be.
And you're not going to. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to. So you have to sit through the pain. I was telling Gorb, I'm like, brother, yesterday I was up over $3,200. Half of that is gone now. It's gone on one single day.
You're looking at it from a two-day window. That's
micromanaging the position.
There you go.
But again, I'm human at the end of the day, and it sucks to sit through that stuff 100%. Sometimes.
I completely agree. And you'd have to be, I don't want to say a sociopath, but you definitely have to lack a little bit of emotional.
You have to, and it's very, very difficult. I don't know if I'm an emotional trader or not, or an emotional individual, but I feel it as well too. I don't know if I feel it harder than most people, but sometimes it sucks, and it can dampen your day without any question.
Oh, no question about it, Joe. Adira, what's up?
I do have some news here. Keep an eye here on any of these nuclear plays like SMR NE. We do have Semaphore reporting that the Trump administration is considering $12 billion worth of cuts to clean energy products, including carbon removal and hydrogen efforts from Chevron and Occidentals. Keep an eye on OXY, CVX, and any nuclear names. Also, I know people were wondering about news on UNH. I don't have anything yet, and the social media action on it is actually very tepid. Back to you.
For that. Let's go on to the next topic. The Supreme Court is going to let antitrust rulings against Google Play Store stand. So the U.S. Supreme Court on Monday declined Google's request to temporarily halt part of a sweeping order requiring major structural changes to the Google Play Store. The order stems, of course, from Epic Games' 2020 antitrust lawsuit, which accused Google, of course, of monopolizing the app distribution as well as the in-app payments on Android devices. The decision means key parts of the injunction by the lower court remain active and in effect, while Google, of course, prepares its full appeal to the appellate court, keeping legal pressure on the company's Android ecosystem. A federal appeals court in July had upheld the original injunction, adding momentum to Epic's case and increasing the antitrust scrutiny on Google's broader business model. So here's what the injunction does. From Judge James Donato, it compels Google to do the following. 1, allow users to download rival app stores directly within the Play Store. That's just like forcing me to sell like Ben & Jerry's at what's it called? At Baskin Robbins. What the hell?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have to have a competitor's product in my store. Number 2, it makes Play's Apple catalog accessible to competitors, effectively opening up Google's walled ecosystem. And number 3, it enables app developers to include external payment links, letting users bypass Google's billing system. And it's about a 15 to 30% transaction fee, really depending here. These measures take effect, though, in stages. So external payment options go live later this month, while the App Store competition rules are set to take effect in July of next year. Google's obviously pushing back, and it's got an appeal case lodged, Joey, but for the moment, they're bound by this injunction.
That's crazy, man. Do you remember the store Reed's Dairy?
They went?
Reed's Dairy.
Yeah, they had the milkshakes, right?
It was like a little, you go get cheese and stuff like that, and they had like the bag juice. Shout out to the Jamaican Reed's Dairy.
Nah, I don't remember that specifically.
Reed's Dairy? All right,
maybe.
That's an old school one. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, like Google, man, this thing, as soon as that antitrust was lifted off their shoulders, they're just gonna go absolutely parabolic. I chickened out right here for some reason. I went too heavy on IBIT. You're getting that little bit of a pop now. I should have just held on to it. Instead, I got out relatively break even, and there it goes, a nice little move. But no, in all seriousness, we'll pull up and we'll talk a little bit about Google and what we got going on from a daily. I mean, after it broke out here, essentially look at the run that it's been on. It's cooling off a little bit as well. But it just gave the market additional legs to climb higher and higher. So yeah, not too bad of a look on Google. You're only a couple percentage points off of this all-time high. Come on now, you can do it. Oh. Right? So you're only about 4%, right? So nothing horrible right there. So Reed's Dairy, there you go. Looney Shakes. Everybody, some people are remembering them. No, but just
I told you Shakes, bro. I'm telling you, I remember that specifically.
So they know what's going on. But no, in all seriousness, Google, absolutely fine. It just goes back to what I was saying earlier. Any bad news with these names, you're down any percentage points, you want to get involved and just start grabbing more and more.
Adira, this injunction from Judge James Donato. So here's what it does. It allows users to download rival app stores, Adira, within their app store, of course, called Play. Yeah, I got questions too, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Why would you do that? Why would you even want to do that? Like, James Donato, have you used a phone? I'm sorry. Sorry, James. Sorry, you're on or whatever. But I'm actually legitimately really confused. Now, why am I confused? Because if you are an Apple user, why are you going to download the Google Play Store on your iPhone? You probably wouldn't. The inverse is true. Why would you even need the Apple App Store if you have the Google Play? And you also, how can you compel any other, you're not going to compel Apple to do this. It makes no sense. And again, who even wants to do this? I feel like and again, this is why I really enjoyed Amit Mehta's ruling way back when with that other Google case, with regards to, not making Google divest its Chrome, because his ruling made sense and it actually seemed consumer friendly. I don't think consumers even want to download other app stores. And also, Epic Games is not another app store. It is an app that you can get in an app store. So if you're trying to accommodate Epic Games here, you are woefully missing the point, sir. I didn't even realize how upset I was about this until I read this back. But yeah, and then also making their app catalog accessible to competitors. Sure, fine, you could argue that's more or less an aspect of what Amit Mehta did in the other ruling. But I don't know. I mean, at that point, you go from anti-competition to you can't even have anybody be competitive because everyone has access to the same playing field. And then in which case, how can anyone win? You're all getting participation trophies. I don't really like it.
Neither do I. All right.
The participation trophy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of participation trophies, Dylan. All right, let's go on to Lucid. Q3 deliveries beat, but tax credit loss clouds the EV outlook. So let's talk about it. So Lucid delivered about 4,078 vehicles. That's in Q3. That's a company record, guys, and about 47% year-over-year increase. But it did, ironically enough, still miss Wall Street's estimates of 5,000 vehicles delivered. Despite the record, shares were down in the pre-market. Of course, this is post-split, now trading at 23.76. Let's see where it's at right now. Trading at 21.77. So Lucid's down almost 10%, and it is SSR, short sale restricted. The loss of the $7,500 EV tax credit, of course, from the Fed is expected to hit sales in Q4. So that 4,078 vehicles, that could have been a pull forward number, right? And so we may start seeing some declines now that the 7,500 is off the table. But separately, of course, Lucid is much more expensive. Their base model in this country is over 100,000. So the argument could go, it will hurt that category of buyer less than the category of buyer who's buying at 50, 40, etc. Okay, we'll have to wait and see if that is the case or not. But there is broader EV strength. As we've mentioned, Tesla delivered almost 500,000 vehicles. Ford and GM also posted robust numbers, likely again as a result of the pull forward due to the loss of the $7,500 EV tax credit. And yeah, Joey, any comment here on Lucid?
LCID, let's take a look there. I mean, oh yeah, man. Deliveries beat there, Sharif. Would you have guessed that this is a deliveries beat right there? Bang. There it is. Maybe, I mean, not too bad of a look off of those lows. Some buying pressure starting to slowly step in there and on the daily. But I stick to my guns on the just like the EV space and the car space is a tough game to be involved with.
It is.
lower margins, etc. I knew that wasn't going to work. I didn't know why I tried to pull up the weekly there on LCID. But I mean, you get this pop, it heads right back into the middle of the range. The Chinese space, as Sharif mentioned before, and we talked about, is that they're all just consistently trying to undercut each other and get in a better price. And I think the vehicles are really, really expensive. So obviously, the market that you can address is significantly lower, considering some of them are like $100,000 vehicles. They're really, really expensive.
Yeah, well, here's one, Joey. This is the new Gravity SUV. How much is this
running here?
So this is about $140,000 in Canada. I don't know what they're paying down south there. But it's a 3-row SUV, Joey, 7 passengers. So you got to think it's more for bigger families. I wouldn't mind seeing a smaller version of this.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bussy looking. Now I was
going to say that gives me a minivan.
Well, you know why? They all have that teardrop shape for the aerodynamics because everything is EV obviously now. So this is, you know, I mean, I don't hate this. It's certainly not my favorite. The market was really waiting for this though. They were calling this the needle mover for Lucid. I don't know if it's going to be the needle mover, Joey. I think that it's probably got a bit of a limited TAM there, just because.
Exactly. Well, 140K, right?
Well, I don't know what they're paying down south, though, just to be fair. But in this country, it's about. Say that again, Katina Man. The Katina Man is short Tesla again at 450. For all those who want to follow, the Katina Man short Tesla 450. Adara, look, they posted a record 4,078 vehicles, up 47% year over year, a company record, but they miss Wall Street estimates. Question to you, do we see this number drop, Adara, in Q4 as a result of the loss of the EV tax credit?
No. And I say that because I think if you're going to get a Lucid, well, I mean, I know they're expensive vehicles, but I feel like a Lucid is so specific that unlike with the Tesla, where they were really like, you know, rapping, get these EV tax credits, I don't really know if that was done with Lucid to the same extent. So with that in mind, I think that might be a little less of a concern for Lucid than it was for Tesla. I also, and this is going to be the joke, but I have to say it either way, we talk a lot about the Sydney Sweeney effect, don't we? Maybe Lucid's deliveries were related to the Timothy Chalamet.
Oh!
We know that he was announced as their brand ambassador. Look at him, sitting pretty in a car. So, I mean, you know, I am going to slightly joke, slightly serious, maybe
Who's that guy, Adara?
Pardon?
Who's that guy?
Timothy Chalamet. Two-time Oscar nominee Timothy Chalamet, the youngest man to be nominated for Best Actor in 80 years.
Yo, Ram's burning
in 2018.
A hole through my head.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts, so I'm going to stop that now.
On over here.
But yeah, Timmy C. In my heart.
Oh, another Timmy C?
Listen, Adara. First of all, Sharif dumbbell curls Timmy C. Wait, at the end of the day, all right? I mean, like, come on. Listen.
Why am I getting dragged into this? What did I do, bro? I just didn't know who he was.
Listen, Adara. The Bones and All is easily his best movie.
Okay, we're going to have that discussion another time.
Get him, Adara.
Because I'm not going to do that to myself. But I will say here, with
Bones and All.
47% year-over-year increase. Still impressive, regardless of if a celebrity endorsement led to that increase. I'm done.
All right, I love it. I love it. Ram is getting involved in the chat. She hasn't said a word in the last week and a half.
Yeah.
But tell her you don't know who that dude is. She got very upset, Joey.
I mean, like,
very upset.
Come on.
All right.
Come on now.
Let's go on.
Oh,
to
yeah,
the next
Dune is
topic.
great. Yeah,
right.
I like him.
All right, guys, let's go on. IBM surges on an Anthropic AI partnership and breakout momentum. Let's take a look at where International Business Machine is trading at right now. Up 2%, but certainly off the highs. Let's talk about this deal. So it was up about 5% in the pre-market, at least after announcing a strategic partnership with AI startup Anthropic, deepening, of course, IBM's push into enterprise-grade artificial intelligence. We already know they're very much involved in the enterprise game, now looking to get involved in the AI aspect. The deal will integrate Anthropic's Claude family of large language models. Get it, Katina, man? Including the new Claude. I'm going to have to pause as Benjamin Franklin does his thing. George Washington. Including the new Claude Sonnet 4.5 into IBM's software portfolio, beginning with its integrated development environment suite. IBM will also co-develop AI deployment guides with Anthropic to help business build and operate custom AI agents. We know, Joey, Anthropic is a major rival to OpenAI. It's backed by Amazon, so they got the money. And the partnership strengthens, of course, IBM's position among the top enterprise AI providers, along, of course, Softy, Oracle, Salesforce, Amazon, the likes.
Absolutely. I mean, there you go. Surzon Anthropic AI partnership. I mean, we thought Apple was going to get involved with them with Perplexity, Anthropic, and strike some deals. That wasn't the case. But I think one thing that's underrated with international IBM, Sharif, is the quantum. They have the quantum play as well too.
They do?
Exactly. So I think that's something big there in IBM.
Why is Ram posting videos of this timid guy in the chat, bro?
Can I block
It's showing up on our screen,
I'm blocking Ram. I'm blocking.
Don't let her post anymore,
man.
bro.
Don't ever do that.
She is the channel, bro.
She is the channel.
We can't do anything to her, Joey.
Out of here, man.
All right, go ahead.
Who did that? Come on. All right, no, in all seriousness, a big time move up there. But there's what? All right, Katina Man. Yeah.
Katina Man's getting lit up, bro. He can't wait to come on. He's got 4 minutes.
Just show the man his screen. Show the man's screen. Let's talk about it for a second. No, but in all seriousness, IBM, you're coming off of those highs. I love it for a quantum play as well, too. Getting involved in some more AI. This is what we want to see, especially in this AI boom.
All right, Katina Man short 450 on Tesla. Just wanted to point that out. Katina Man short 450 on Tesla. Keep your eye out there. There he is. He's firing hot dogs. I don't know why. I love it. He's in a good mood. All right, Adara, let's get your take on this IBM tie-up with Anthropic, obviously supported by Amazon. What do you make of this whole thing?
Yeah, also, ouch, plane just landed on my face. But no, all jokes aside, I don't have too much to say about this. Like, we know that a lot of these AI plays, we're going to make partnerships. It makes sense. The stock initially reacted really well to it. Yeah, like I said, I think this is kind of par for the course. If you aren't making these kind of deals, then I think you're falling behind. So it makes sense that IBM does partner up with Anthropic here. And I like that it kind of puts it next to Amazon, right? Because we have Anthropic being backed by Amazon. So I wonder if there's any kind of wiggle room here for an IBM Amazon partnership in the future. Not that that needs to happen, but I think either way, it's a window, it's a possibility.
Adara, have you ever tried Claude?
Which one?
Claude. That's Anthropic's model.
Oh,
Claude.
I heard Glock. No, I have never tried Claude.
Neither have I.
No, I haven't. I can't speak much to Claude. Also, guys, Rigetti did get a little bit of a spike. Sorry, I just want to mention this quickly.
Go ahead.
Benzinga just released a headline about what Rigetti's doing. It's not actually news. It's just kind of a summary. But either way, RGTI got a little bit of a spike a couple minutes ago there.
Thank you for that, Adara. All right, Joey. We've got one more over here. It's about the White House looking to explore, selling the federal student loans that could affect SoFi as part of SoFi's, I don't want to say it's their old business model because they're still doing it, but they were very much involved in higher interest rate student loans at lower rates. They've obviously diversified and then way more than that. So we'll see.
That's kind of like what Fannie Mae and Freddie are, right?
Yeah,
they just
a little bit, but it was mortgages.
Mortgages, right? No, but I mean, with SoFi student loans, not too bad of a look. I think that SoFi has been a fantastic trader as of late, and that's interesting that they're looking to sell some of these student loans. I thought Biden was just going to eliminate them all. No student loans for anybody, but that doesn't seem to be the case here today. All right,
I want to cement Gotham House saying that Claude is the best for AI programming. The source, he's a software dev, baby, developer. Shout out to Gotham House for pointing that out. Thanks for that, brother. Yeah, look, I mean, I personally have never used Claude. I've only really used Perplexity, Gemini, and ChatGPT. I think Gemini is pretty bad, and I still feel that way a year later. I also am not very happy, of course, with ChatGPT 5 because I find it super slow. It really needs to be a bit better. I know I can skip. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying sometimes it just doesn't give you a response one way or another. I think that has a lot to do, obviously, with Altman complaining about his chips melting. By the way, separately here, I was watching an interview with Altman, and he was like, dude, do you have any idea how many options and features we'd like to include with chat that we can't actually include because we just don't have the compute to do it? So think about it. It could be so much better, but they're limited by this compute.
So we build, so the build out and everything along those lines.
To me, that just means that there's more compute coming, and that the Nvidias, the AMDs, the Broadcoms, we haven't talked yet.
Let me ask you this: do you think that there's a ceiling on LLMs? Like, what do you think? Like, what is the potential?
I don't know. I don't. And that's can I say?
Yeah.
Every year, dude, there's going to be another Nvidia GPU that's probably going to cost more than the one before it. Okay, and you're going to have to keep buying them. Because the compute, it's not like fiber optics where the speed of light is the speed of light, okay? And it can travel. Well, I'm sure you can add more fiber ops.
Right.
But the point is, maybe you can sell compute of the H100 variety to, I don't know, like a smaller company who doesn't need that kind of compute. But when you're selling to Meta, you're selling to Amazon, you're selling to the hyperscalers and even sub-hyperscalers, you better have the latest and greatest. If that is going to be the case, that means they're going to be upgrading these things almost every year, right? And they're going to have to spend almost every year. I just don't see that changing.
Fair.
No, and that's just kind of the way I look at it, right?
They ain't buying, Drew, trust me, they ain't buying those back, brother. I can tell you, it was one of the biggest botches of our previous administration's government right there. The firearm repurchase program.
Oh, God.
We want to spend a couple $100 million on absolutely nothing. You think people up here are going to be selling those things? Absolutely not. Zero chance.
All right, 201.
201.
Sean's not there, but Obi is.
Obi's there.
What's happening? What was that laugh? Who was that laugh? I didn't even hear what that was. What's up? What's going on, everybody? What's up? Hopefully you guys had a great lunch hour, midday session as well. I'm still thinking about lunch. That was my thing. I was like, that chicken was